Okay, welcome guys, welcome. Sorry about my throat, it's still a bit sort of croaky, so I'll just double check that I am streaming. And we are, good. Okay, cool. So welcome to ChatTactic number 4 for 2024. So there's no big releases that I've sort of got that I was going to talk about this week. I've actually been in bed for half the week just with this flu that I've had, so it's sort of been a bit annoying. So I haven't done a real lot this week, but there's still a lot to talk about. A lot of things that have come up, a lot of DLC notices, a lot of changes to different games, heaps of stuff like that. So we'll go through all that as well. I also do want to pretty start off with this. I did actually do unfortunately, I had it all loaded in, so I had the nice screen on here and all that sort of stuff. So I might just quickly go and do that again. I'll just so we can talk about this particular video. Your videos. If I just get rid of that one, and this one here, and click on that one. And get rid of that. Okay, so this was something I uploaded about a week ago, and this was like and I set it up as a Dominion 6 challenge. I wanted to start to play a few different factions. I should just press F11. This is where I got into trouble just before I started to. It's funny because I put the hide me thing on so I could just sort of get set up properly and all that sort of stuff. And as soon as I clicked it, I then started playing around with. I had the video all ready to go. And I then accidentally started playing it, and so then I had to stop that. And then I looked over. I've got only a partial glass of water, and I looked up, and I'd left my one of my water bottles upstairs, so I may have to go back up and refill that at some point. So anyway, we'll see how we go. But I thought we'd start off by looking at the just how well people did go against me in this particular run, which is a really I had so much fun doing this. And it really did take such a short time to play the whole game out. So I think it's a really nice format. It's a nice format for new players as well, to be able to sort of get into the actual game. Anyway, so we'll just start saying hi. So I think I said hi to Bob. I've got Sithal. Hi, Michael. How you going? CB. Drowse US and Battle Mode. Jamison saying good evening, Daz, in chat. Hope you're doing well. Playing middle-aged Ermor is pure blasphemy. It was fun. I haven't played it for so long. It was really, really cool. Shadow Tiger saying, "Oops, I forgot to finish the challenge." It's interesting actually. Since I've had the flu, I haven't actually read the comments, but over the first couple of days, I did actually read them. It was really, really cool. So it was actually interesting to see how people approached it. And that's one of the things I love about these sorts of games. Like the complexity means there's not just one way to actually play it out. And I thought we'd have a look at a few of the different things in through here. And I'll try to make it so that it's not overly complex. I mean, it's Ermor is an interesting faction to play in Dominions for the simple reason that it's basically doesn't have any actual units that you can recruit. Sort of as recruitable units. They're just undead that. You acquire a heap of them at the start, so you don't actually even have to bring that many in. So Sithal's saying, is Ermor the easiest pop kill nation? I think it would have to be, wouldn't it? Hi Adamart, how you going? And Bubo. All right, so let's have a look at some of the, like I did it in, actually, how long did it take me to do it? 13 turns. Okay, so it took me 13 turns. I was really proud of that, by the way. I was really proud of that. I thought, oh, this is really cool. I'll just go back and close that again, can I? No, it won't let me do it. All right, let's go down. So we've got... I did actually make a mistake in it, so I did pin that one, where it was showing... I forgot about the fact that when your god is outside of your dominion, certain things no longer work, and that was what was happening in part of the playthrough. So I did actually write that one down. I'll just skim through to where I sort of see where was it? Yeah, I'm just looking for how long it took people to actually do it. I love this that people are sort of spending so much time. Yeah, turn 10, my pretender dies. It's one of these things where you just like you can end up with some really bad luck. I haven't read all of these. I haven't read this in detail. Continuing troops to the front. Turn 13, I besiege Nid's castle. Also, it depends a lot on who your enemy ends up being as well. I've got to think about different ways of doing these, because I think I don't know whether I should say you have to play against a certain faction, but it was interesting. Does it say? Yeah, yeah, there we go. This happened a lot, I noticed. Dom kill wins. And I'll explain what that is as well. Turn 22 Dom kill win. But someone got it in 8, and I don't know if anyone beat that. Yep, so Harbinger is saying just an intermediate beginner play here, but managed to pull it off in 16 turns. That's good. Like, I think anything is good, to be honest. It's fun because you can do it so fast. Now, where was the other? Where was it? Yes, I'm just trying to skim. I should have actually read this before I started doing the recording. I managed to, here we go. So this is Menelik Gaming. Managed to get my victory on turn 9 versus a Water Nation. Started with a Dracolic and level 10 Dominion scales. I found his capital, flew the Dracolic, conveniently amphibious, which it is actually. That's really cool. I did actually have it in my little instructions to make sure they're land nations, so it's not too difficult. But like Menelik's done incredibly well here. Flew the Dracolic and over there, stood on his cap for a few turns and managed to dom wipe him on turn 9, which is really fast. Like, that's really, really quick. So that's actually just essentially he's just sitting on top of them and letting his high level 10 Dominion sort of completely leach out all the other Dominion from the other god and killed him that way. So yeah, here's the other one. I think I just took the Prince of Death with Death 10 and ran at him, besieged his cap, and just sat there till I had enough troops to take the walls. Then GG. Yeah, there was one that was, yeah, here we go. Was this one? Another Dracolic. Dracolics are great. 8 death, 7 blood, reanimators and unholy weapons. How long does this one take? Yeah, we've got the victory screen on turn 14. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Turn 11. So a Myrmicalon with okay, I think that's sort of like the ant lion with obfuscate. Get one by Dom killing him. Again, a lot of Dom kills that come through. 650 Storm the Capital, turn 14 in through there as well. Tried the game a week or so, but without a super combatant, so I failed miserably against against Priest Behind the Walls. Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Second try now as a Titan in the Underworld, took a Sacred Bless. Dom kill on turn 12. I don't know what to do about the Dom killing, because I think no matter what faction you play, that's a viable strategy. Like no matter what you're playing as or against in this sort of stuff, you can really end up sort of dominating just by doing a Dom kill on a 1 versus 1. Here we go. So Prince of Death again, 10 death, fear, undying, awake pretender, of course, and Ermor versus Jotunheim. So against the giants, victory in 20 turns. That's cool. Pretend to survive. Made some mistakes. Yeah, it's cool. It's such a good way to learn the game. What else did we get up to with this? I should have actually curated and have a look at some beforehand. But someone got it in 8. Yeah, turn 8 with a Dracolic in through there. No detail about it. Earth 4, Death 7, and Nature 6. and Neogenesis, I can't even win against an easy AI. But it's an easy way to it's a nice, easy or quick way to get into the game, which I think is good. I want to do this again, actually. I want to do this one probably every 1 or 2 weeks for a little while. And people were also suggesting on my Discord that I actually look at other games to do this with, things like Gladius or other games that we can do something where we have like a very, very small game to play, maybe even Age of Wonders 4 or something like that. There was another one about another Dom kill in 8 turns. I can't see it there. Because I thought 9 turns was really impressive, but there wasn't 8. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing it there now. Anyway, that was good. Really, really interesting to sort of see how people did it. I don't know about the Dom killing. How I can how we tackle that in terms of the challenge. Like maybe we have to have a Dom kill challenge and an actual battle challenge, and sort of have like 2 ways of winning, and have extra points for the battle challenge, because I think that one of the like they're both viable. Anyway, I'll see what happens. Actually, what I should do is ask you guys. I have figured out that I can actually now engage with the audience and leave a poll. So I'll just write a little question. Be part of the Minions 6 or be allowable. Sorry about this, guys. That's part of the Dom 6 challenge. So I'll just start the poll. There's no timer on this one, so that's now just going to appear at the top of your chat. So now, what a Dom kill is you don't battle to actually win the game. You suck out the Dominion from around them, and so it's one of these things where if you think it's a viable one for all the challenges which are going to be coming, which I think just means you basically can rinse and repeat the same sort of approach each time, just get a hidden or a dominant super combatant. So that's my own concern, is that it ends up just being, okay, here's the strategy no matter what faction you're playing as. So that was the only thing I was thinking. I don't know. I think personally I'd prefer to say it's should be allowable, but maybe a separate category or something like that. So I think if it is ending up being yes. So that's like that's where we are at this stage. So I'll leave it up there for a little while anyway. But that was cool to see that. But there's a lot of Dom kills, So I think, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like there's a Dom kill there, but 22 turns. But no, there was a lot of the really fast ones would just fly there with something and then just Dom kill it. I'll show you. No, I was just thinking of making up the actual. Oops, sorry guys, I had the wrong thing selected. And there we go. I'm still a bit foggy brained with the flu that I've had. Okay, so what did we get up to with the chat? Some northern vibes in the chat tonight. It says battle mode. That or Lemuria, I guess. I found Lemuria pretty easy. Yeah, there's a few there. So ChatTactic saying I posted screenshots in your Discord of that god that I used, the Drakon. Yes, yeah, no, it was good. It was I liked the engagement with this too. It was just nice to have something that like beginners could also play, which is good. Kika's saying I very much like that challenge. I tried Ermor in a regular game and won in a few years. Ermor seems to be an easy nation to play. Thanks for the inspiration and hope you make others similar to that. I will be. I was going to do Ulm as my start one actually, and then I thought, look, Ermor's even easier to play. It's just different. It's not really a Dominion's style way of playing the game, but it is fun to play as Ermor. Battlemode saying middle-aged Ermor isn't as easy in multiplayer as you tend to get dogpiled. Yes, that's very true. So I think I said that in the video actually. There's to be, it's fun to play in single player, but if you're playing multiplayer, expect to be absolutely smashed because no one wants you near them. Super Mew Kitty Cat saying hello, Mr. Tactic. Did the honey work? I've brought it down again today. It's funny. We've got. I'll just show you. Hang on. So this is from yesterday's stream. I brought down this little tub of honey from my throat. It does work actually. It's good, but it's my throat's really raw, like really sort of really scratchy at the moment. So I'm just using, whenever I feel like coughing, I'm just using this as like a cough lozenge, which has been very, very good actually. But I love this honey. As I said yesterday on yesterday's stream as well. It's a friend of mine. He packages it up, but he's not commercial or anything. But he's got his own beehive in his backyard. Like he's got heaps of them. He's got some native beehives as well as commercial type beehives. And that was actually quite interesting, actually, because like he's actually got these. He just lives in suburbia, but there's macadamia plantations near where we live, and apparently the bees go off and get all the nectar from around the macadamia plantation and come back, and it's just the greatest honey I've ever tasted. It's really, really exceptional. So But unfortunately, it's really humid and rainy at the moment, so all the bugs are coming inside. And every time I open it up, is there any? No, there's all the ants are gone now. But there's every time I open it up, no matter where I put it, like away, in a bowl with water in the bottom of it, all sorts of things. Little tiny ants will get to the lid. They don't get inside where the honey is, but they get basically just inside the lid bit there, which is annoying. So I had to fish them all out again today. That's what you get for living in Australia, I guess. You just get so many bugs coming out of the woodwork all the time. What did we get up to? Yeah, so it is working, but it's still annoying. So, but I'm saying, Daz, you sound rough, man. You feeling? I feel better. I feel like almost 100%. It's just my throat's a problem. But I did a 5-hour live stream yesterday, and felt good. It felt my throat felt even better at the end of it. So the problem with Popkill Nations have is in multiplayer. So that's what Cecil's saying that as well. Hi Tenru, how you going? Jemison saying ChatTactic going full democracy now with a poll. Yeah, I've got a few things I can do. I'll just start playing with those things a little bit. Maybe set a few things up before I start doing these sessions, so we can sort of. I guess it's even like what you think about different games and things like that as well. I think would be interesting to sort of get whether you've got any sort of interest or not. I did that once before. Maybe a couple of years ago, I did a live stream where I was going through different games that were being shown, and just got people to vote. But I forgot how I did it now. But now that I've got polls that I can set up in chat, I can just run them at the same time. Colin Hansen saying challenges are a good idea. One I always have wanted to try is a Heroes of the Panic Raider run. So no recruiting or summoning troops, though you can summon commanders. Would really work in multiplayer. It would only really work in multiplayer, though. Yes, it would. Well, I'm just thinking if you use the debug mod, and allowed something at the start, if you were allowed to build whatever you wanted out of whatever tier of construction, that would be interesting. That would be doable if you played with the debug mod on. And set up so that you can actually build whatever, like with the things that were in there. You had to then recruit your commanders and construct whatever they required in terms of equipment from whatever tiers you decided to actually do it at. That would work. I don't think, although the AI doesn't get to have the benefit of the. It may have actually. Yeah, the AI may have the benefit of the stuff as well. But that could still work. That actually, but then you'd have to then introduce how to sort of run the debug mod. The debug mod, when you play with the debug mod on, it loads in a heap of different really high level spellcasters and all of these spells and all of the items are all freely available and everything like that. So for thugging things out, it's really really quite cool. So Shadow Tucker saying I think that should be part of the challenge, such as win with blood sacrifice, dom kill only. So you think it should be specified, as in because I noticed that the yes votes are coming down, the no votes are up to nearly 30% now. So I'd be in the no personally, but it's only because I'm thinking, how do I keep on extending this across the different other sorts of factions, So I'll end the poll now, but that's interesting. So you guys are saying, yep, keep Dom Kill in there. That's okay. So Super Mew Kitty Cat saying there is a custom nation called Robbledoth. It has pop kill since the start. You lose. You have to research enchantment. Use 50 blood slaves to use a ritual. So it's a custom nation. I wouldn't be wanting to sort of introduce customs or mods for people to have as a challenge. Increases fertility on a province. Okay. Suspicious Business saying afternoon. So afternoon back. Okay, so Sticky Wicked saying having a less complex mode, not easy, but reduced complexity for a single player is a good choice for any game. Lowering that learning curve, getting the endorphins and player reward going early. Yeah, I think so. I think this is why these little challenges and things, because it gives you a an approach that's not going to chew up like 3 days of your time, that you can do in an hour, basically, just to sort of see. And if you're learning the game and you sort of just follow along with the challenge, it gets you started, and from there you basically start learning everything anyway. So it's I think it's good. At Complexity later, she said, yeah, JRPGs tend to take this to an extreme. Yeah, yeah. KCW is saying honey and a macadamia plantation. My picture of paradise. Macadamia plantations are just trees in a row. So they're nothing too wonderful, to be honest. They're but it's so they're not nothing much. But yeah, the honey is good. This honey, I love it. It's just so nice. Hi Trank, how you going? Subcal saying sorry for the non-Dominions chat. Did you see the Paradox gameplay demonstration for Millennium earlier today? It looks different. I haven't seen that. No, I didn't realise that they were doing that one. There is another one scheduled for tomorrow, which is the announcement for Age of Wonders 4. So with new DLC. So I will actually have a look at that one through there. But I'm saying the debug sensei. Yeah, I love how the debug mod has a sense of humour. But I think all of the benefits of the debug mod are then given to the AI as well, I think. But AI can use the debug sensei. It's dangerous. Yeah, I think that's what it can do. Hi Michael, how you going? So saying I think it's all about the setup. Sometimes dom kill is valid. I think it is. Yeah, I think maybe it's got to be specified that you get less points if you dom kill. I think it's got to be viable because it's a great way to learn the game, to be able to dom kill. Maybe that should be one of the challenges. Like, how quickly can you dom kill, say, 3 other nations or something like that? So set up a random or two nations, maybe have 2 nations that are anyway, I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about that one. Michael's saying, feeling better, Daz? Did miss your Galsiv stream since it was around midnight here at my place. It was fun yesterday, actually. I had a really good time with that stream. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, just my throat's still really croaky and bad. In fact, the coughing is worse over the last 12 hours or so than what it's been beforehand. I don't know why. It's just, it's been it was not a good, I didn't sleep much last night. It was, so I woke up a few hours ago, but it's, I was just kept on waking myself up with coughing, which was frustrating. So Michael's saying, I got a big chunk of the 5 hours though to watch. I may have to break in at 2 to 3 though. I think so. Look, it's with that stream yesterday, there's a lot of diversions, but towards the end was when the wars were on, and that was probably the more interesting bits and pieces. So, that played it to what I consider it to be a nice conclusion. Pale Wolf Planter saying, hi, I'd have voted, but I don't know the game. Would just be guessing on what I was voting on. Yeah, that's okay. Look, this is just Dominion 6, and Dom Kill is one of the strategies that is a really important strategy to know, actually, because if you've got a really powerful pretender inside a location, like a god essentially inside their fort, it can be really, really hard if they've got because their strength is built on the belief, which is a dominion. So the stronger the dominion that they sit in, the stronger they are. And so that was actually one of the very early sort of things that you would do in dominions, was to find a way to get priests to diminish the dominion around these gods, so that you can actually then try to take them out. It's complex. Hi Hugh David, how you going? And so Super Me Kitty Cat saying, I have tomatoes, peppers, and now pumpkins planted. There we go. Is that in real life, or is that in Stardew Valley? Or I forget what my wife plays. She plays something that she loves gardening anyway. It's funny. I feel bad, but we're getting like a whippersnipper type thing, or an edger. I had to get one that was light enough for her to be able to use as well. I feel embarrassed saying that, but she sort of. So we got an electric one yesterday, but haven't received it yet. Okay, so Battleman's saying, yeah, Dom killing is really cool in Dominions. The threat of it makes low Dominion strength nations have to take very special precautions to not lose. It does. It's sort of one of those things where it's important for everyone to know it, but it's not. It's one of those things where it's not. But it becomes much more important the more you know the game. It's sort of one of those things that becomes a major factor the deeper into the game you go. Yeah, so Cecil's saying it's important to know Dom kill so you don't get Dom killed. The AI doesn't tend to Dom kill you though, but certainly for multiplayer, absolutely. All right, let's start talking about other games because Dom 6 we covered a lot last week. One thing that is a problem in Dominion 6, I'll leave it back on there. I'll also just go back in again and just go back to Steam. One of the issues with Dominions at the moment is the map making. So I will be trying to do more map making things with Dominions, but I'm going to wait until they've sorted out the issues that are going on with creating the secondary planes. So that's going to be something that will come. Let's have a look at I guess we'll just go straight into all the different things that are happening. There's a lot of stuff. I remember there's a few things. Let's just go straight into Dwarf Fortress. Now, I'll just start with Dwarf Fortress itself. Now, there's nothing much that has come up this week, I don't think. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this one, actually, this was from a day or so back. So if we have a look at this regular update, it doesn't say much, to be honest, this particular update. So the adventure mode update is approaching, so let's talk about it in the upcoming year more broadly. So it goes through what adventure mode is, which is essentially that you can then go around and play an RPG version of, like a role-play version of Dwarf Fortress, where you play as one character, or maybe a small team of characters, which is very, very cool. I love what they're doing with this, and this is why things are taking so long. They're really making it so that the dynamic characters can be really done extremely well. And this is one of the things I loved about the new version of Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, so here's just a small sample of the art and procedural portraits. So this is procedurally done. Clothing in different species done by Carolyn. So you can just see the same sort of face that has been chopped and changed a little bit through little tweaks and things coming back in through. It's very nice, and this is just a very, very small sampling. Anyway, let's just go back through sandbox problems. So I think what this, I won't go through what's all being said and through here, but I think what they're trying to say with this is that there's a lot more than what they had initially thought there was going to be to do, and that the April launch date for this is probably going to be pushed back. I would imagine. I'm thinking we're probably going to be told might be September or something like that. So we'll find out soon enough, I guess. I mean, that's what happens with Dwarf Fortress. It's sort of they don't adhere to actual time frames. So anyway, that's I am looking forward to seeing what they do with adventure mode. That's going to be very, very interesting. I'm glad that they're keeping us updated. I don't like. The game has been in development for 20 odd years, so it's not as if they're going to suddenly stop developing the game or anything like that. Yeah, Dimmerson saying building destroyer fix when. Yes, I know. God, it shits me. That's something that is really frustrating. I was also not going to go back and play it until that was fixed, but that was a year ago, and I love the game, so I've got to play it and just I don't know. They should be fixing that. It's sort of I don't know why other people don't even mention it. It's the building. If we go and have a look inside their where is it? The community hub. How many of us are building? I'll just do a search for building. Hidden area builds. That's probably, or maybe destroyers. Destroy seeds. See, no one's complaining about it. Like there's been nothing. it's been reported, but there's a lot in here. Yeah, so yeah, 5th of December. Anyone wanting the creation of some Tier 3 building destroyer, something at least capable of destroying bridges or even walls, please, it desperately needs it. That's different to what the problem is. I mean, the problem is that they don't even have it. Building destroyers T1 and T2 have been around forever. They are currently bugged and locked. Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah, so when was that? When was that done? 5th of December. Yeah, people are asking whether it can do it, but they can't even open a door, let alone bridges or walls. Gabe just says, I don't want to kill my dogs. Yeah, let's say some of them are working, but yeah, I've forgotten basis it again in 23rd of December. Yeah, so people are complaining, I guess, but I don't think it's on their radar. Yeah, it's weird. Like, this is the problem. This is the problem here. So yeah, forgotten beasts are not, but they are trap avoid, titans, mega beasts, etc. Building destroyers, but only titans are trap avoid. The regular doors, yeah, this is where the problem is. I haven't been able to collect more. All forgotten beast titans. See, people don't believe that they can't open doors. Yeah, so it's just like it's not even like the opening post sort of goes through asking the question, but people don't know the answer, and not more people aren't coming back in and saying, yeah, this, you fix it. And somehow shaking the screen, fix this problem. It's a big problem. Anyway, that's that's one thing that's happened. But we have other stuff as well. Anyway, let's just go back to the store page. So Dwarf Fortress, it's slow moving with Dwarf Fortress. It always is. But DF Hack has had another massive update. This is a free add-on for Dwarf Fortress. Really, it's a must install. If you're playing Dwarf Fortress, you must install this one. I thought that they may be able to fix the building destroyer aspect, but they haven't been able to do that either. I'm not sure why. I might actually ask on the Discord and see if there was. I think I did ask once before, because they were the only ones I really had any hope for that they would find a way to fix that. They fixed so much in the game. But if we have a look and see what they've done. Because they have new stuff. They bring out new stuff all the time. If we just go back into the discussions, what's going on there? Sorry, I'll just check. That's all right. Now, I was going to have the... No, it's not the... that's not the... I'll just go to the news. So they bring out stuff all the time. So this is actually like a revision 5. This is this is the release candidate 3 for it, but this is the actual release of the different sorts of things. So they've brought a lot of things out just in the last day, basically, or the last couple of days. So the release is compatible with all distributions of Dwarf Fortress, which is great. They do such a good job, these guys. Highlights. So there's a heap of stuff they've sort of brought into it now. You've got a GUI embark anywhere mod, so you can now, like before you couldn't, for example, embark in the middle of mountains. You couldn't embark in the middle of oceans. You can now with this one here, which is great. So that does allow all sorts of unusual starts. You've got the where else you got there? Okay, that's just you've got bulk item management now, to allow you to very quickly be able to sort of specify how things are supposed to be handled in the actual in the items. So you've got sort of like, being able to sort of control the melting of different things like this, which is really quite cool. I won't go through in too much detail, but this is a must install. You must install this if you've got Dwarf Fortress, except for Doomerson, who's not playing it because of the building destroyers. And but everyone else, if you're playing Dwarf Fortress, you need to have the DF hack installed. I might have a search and see if it's actually even in the chat. Squad assignment. This is actually really cool. This one goes through specifically what's missing from different units when you're decking them out. Because at the moment, the only way of actually checking to see if a military dwarf, for example, has got both gloves or both boots, is to actually open up every single one of them and look at their inventory, and then you've got to try to then fix it up. This one just tries to fix that for you, which is good. Just makes it a bit easier. This is good as well, the way that they've sort of, they've done, there it is there in action. Won't go through that one through there. I've got to say, when I saw this one, this is the one thing that I went, oh wow, as soon as I saw this. So visualize biome boundaries with GUI biomes. So this one allows you to see where the biomes fall, and I love playing in evil biomes where you've got like where the things come back to life. And this one it'll show you with this where the boundaries are. So, for example, in the last one I was playing on Twitch, I had a biome that was like this, where it had sort of like two different biomes. It was easy for us to see what the differences were between them, but this one now does it from DF hack. And so what it does is that if one is an animating biome, which means stuff comes back to life, and one isn't, if this one wasn't, for example, over here, you could set up your butchers, for example, underneath there, your tanners, your farming shops, and all those, your burial areas, all underneath this area, so that things didn't reanimate. But if you set them up over here, the fur that you shear off something is going to come back to life and start attacking people, or the bones will come back to life if you're using a butcher shop, things like this. So you've got to be super careful if you're in these sort of biomes. So having these biomes displayed is actually a really cool thing. It can also help with things like, for example, I think it can help with even stuff like the minerals. I think it also come into it a little bit as well. So we've got those as well. Now we've got the bulk building management for GUI mass remove, so you can actually then go and remove largish areas, which is something I haven't played with that one through there. This is, I think, is just to allow you to very quickly get rid of like big workshops and things. Auto restore difficulty settings and standing orders for new embarks, which I thought it had that already, to be honest. And they've got all those. Let's have a quick look inside and see what Building Destroyer brings up inside DF hack. Have they been tasked with the mission to fix it? Keeps them crashing. Let's build. No, they haven't been. Okay, we're going to have to. There's nothing there. All right. We'll go back out. Other things that have changed this week. I'll just have a quick look through the comment again. Dom killing is really cool. Yeah, we've done all that one. Yeah, Battlemaid saying Dimmerson probably way down in the line when Toadie finally finds out about it. It's been in their bug list for a long time, like as in their official bug list. I know that for sure. Michael's saying, Daz, I know you're a big fan of not a big fan of two story-driven games, but would Songs of Silence be something you would try? There's a free demo at the moment to download on Steam. Yeah, I've actually tried it. It's one of those games that I am cautiously really looking forward to it, but I don't know, because Brigandine was one of those games that I was expecting to not enjoy at all, and because it feels very similar to Brigandine. But Brigandine was such a massive, pleasant surprise for something that is so scripted. It was such a great game as a strategy game, and I'm hopeful that Songs of Silence will be the same. So yeah, I am looking forward to that game. Dimerson saying, I'm glad that they fixed the projectile training bug, however, so maybe I will. Yeah, they fix a lot, and DF Hack does fix a lot of other things as well. Battleman's saying, you want to be looking at Bay 12's forum. Oh yeah, I guess that is true actually. Anyway, Sticky Wicket saying impenetrable doors are keeping beasts out with a few planks of wood and difficult to manage. Bow squads are probably the two biggest and possibly only the issues I have with Dwarf Fortress at the moment. Yeah, there's other little things that happen like missing gloves and stuff like that when you're trying to deck things out. It can be a bit frustrating. Not leaving I don't think you can use an axe dwarf as a woodcutter and vice versa. I don't think that works. I don't know if that's been fixed. So Battlemoon saying archery is being addressed in the base game. Yeah, and it's probably follow on Steam a little bit later. I think they've both been fixed actually. The archery. It was saying, we all know Daz's fondness for drawbridges. Mine too, as I learned from your 2014 tutorials. Yeah, well, they were the only real way of keeping them out. It would be interesting to have. I don't know what you'd do if you had a drawbridge destroying. Like if they did allow that. I sort of feel that they should allow burning things like that because dragons can't even burn down wooden forts. Yeah, okay, Battleman's had a look and he's saying there's not much on their forums either. Yeah, people just don't care. People don't care about it. So Morbits is saying, hi Daz and Chat, I saw your Galciv 4 stream, but didn't get a chance to say anything. Question, apart from the TerraStar, are there any other Doomsday devices? Battleman's saying to Morbits, Memot civilization abilities. I don't know, actually. Battlemode's the one to ask, actually. So not definitely as a Doom. I don't know, actually. I've never got that far into the game. I always sort of end up finishing. Like yesterday for me was a finish for the game, even though there was still a lot more to play. It's as far as I sort of tend to ever play the game. I've never actually finished a game of Galciv. I don't think ever to final victory. So Morbits are saying duplicating ships when you build one. And Winter saying, hello, first time seeing Mr. Daz Tactic live. There we go. I'm up here in the corner. So some Morbits saying duplicating ships when you build one. I don't know about the Memots at all. I've never played them. They're one of those factions that I've got zero interest in playing. A bit like the Snaffy, I really like the idea of, just not the execution. And in fact, in yesterday's game, the Snaffy were in the middle of the map, and they did declare war against everyone. But that would have been quite fun to keep on playing, to be honest. But it was a fun session yesterday. I did enjoy that a lot. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water, and I'll be right back. And another spoonful of this wonderful honey. Bloody hell, I thought there was an ant. There is an ant. God, how did they keep on, like even in here. This is, I never bring food down in here. So there was an ant that was still somewhere in the lid. God, they're annoying. That is so good. That is so good, that honey. Yeah, that's just pure honey made from macadamias. So left corner is often a good corner for streaming, says Sithel. I don't know, like it depends on the game. Like it's, I find that the bottom right, about a fifth of the way in, is usually the best place for me. Because strategy games don't tend to fill that with, like often to the right of that is where the mini maps are and stuff like that, or other information. But usually I don't know. The top left is often there's other bits and pieces. I'm thinking of Distant Worlds 2 is probably the game that I've got to really try to position myself well for, because there's so many different things that open up in different ways. But I think Gal Civ as well. Like I didn't notice that yesterday. I was in the bottom right but not fully in the right. And it seemed to work well with Gal Civ as well. So yeah, it was good. So more bits are saying the Warlords DLC sounds good, and Age of Wonders 4 is something coming soon, I think. Yeah, they've got an announcement tomorrow. So there's nothing to show about Age of Wonders today, so maybe we'll do that one next week once the announcement actually does hit. I don't know when the like they're announcing it tomorrow, which I don't know how far away that will then be before it gets released. I did follow up with with Paradox today, actually, just to sort of make sure I'm on the list again, to try to get an early version of it so I can sort of show that. But I haven't heard back about that one, so I'm hoping that will be the case. I vote the ants should be allowed to enter Marvel Run. They're really annoying. Yeah, there's still one. It's sort of right in amongst right up in here now. Like there's just one that just will not get out of there. Oh, maybe that one's dead. God, they're annoying. Luckily, the lid has got one of those little plastic sort of nodules on it, like so they can't get in. They can't get in there, but they get into this bit, and so when you get it, you got to sort of flick them off. They all sort of fall off, but it's annoying. It's very frustrating at the moment. It's only when we have a lot of rain. They all just come inside. We get the ants and the spiders basically all come flooding inside whenever it's raining. We've got these spiders called huntsmen around where we are, which are quite big spiders, but they don't bite or anything like that. So they're not as big as tarantulas, but they're sort of the next level down. And we get them. Like they come in every when you can always tell when it's going to rain because they'll be inside the day before. And both my wife and I actually really like them. So it's sort of one of those things where we like it's not as if they're something we worry about at all. Like it's if we see one, it's just you just leave them alone and they just sit there and eat the bugs. But it's they do freak people out a bit. If they run over you, they freak you out because they're big, or big-ish. They're not massive, but they're big enough to be a. They're big enough to sort of like you don't want to be holding them or anything like that. If they're sort of funny spiders. Anyway, yeah. So we get so like when it's humid and hot like it is now and wet, it's just we get all the bugs decide that it's inside's the place to be. Now where are we up to? Michael's saying, Daz, you need to pull down half the orange when the ants come from so that they will take it to the queen. She will die. At least it works with the ants that we got here. So half an orange. Oh, okay. I have heard that. Yeah. Oh, look, I don't know. Like there's so many of them. Like it's sort of you end up with you find a little trail of black ants. Sort of they're not big ants. They're just little ants, but. Yeah, that may work on those. They're just little ones. So they're saying huntsmen don't bite. Too much effort. They just go for your children and small dogs. Yeah. So Michael's saying battle mode. Do you know if they're going to change the military starbase back to be able to protect planets in their control again? That's one thing I noticed yesterday. Actually, I didn't realise that the military starbase is no longer. Give any boost to any of the ships inside its territory, and I was thinking, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And I'm pretty sure that's actually now. I think it's been done on purpose. I'm not sure. Maybe Battle Mode knows the answer to that one, but it's something. It's because what it used to be was that if you had a military starbase, it would actually boost the shielding and the armor and the combat abilities of your ships. And after playing it yesterday and setting them, I set up all these different military star bases, and then having no benefit. My initial thought was, hang on, there's something wrong here. Like this is, it doesn't feel right. But when I thought about it afterwards, I thought actually that's not bad, or maybe just a little bit of a boost to maybe just instead of adding as much of it, because it used to add an enormous amount to shielding and things like this, which made it very, very difficult to even just kill off fighters. Battle mode. Some people didn't like the military bases boosting resistance on a planet. Yeah, I sort of They should do something, but at the moment they do boost fleets. Battle mode saying I don't think they do. I will show you. I will show you. Let's open her up. Any excuse. let's have a look. I'll open the game from where I started off for where I ended up yesterday. Vox just saying it seems like I missed the start of the stream. Yes, you did. We've been going for nearly 50 minutes. I've got to say, this game is just getting better and better and better. And I think that, so if I just go back to continue. Now, unless this is something I was thinking, am I missing some sort of module that I should have installed on it? Like if I go back to my actual homeworld in through here, so I've got a military starbase here. So this is the this is a starbase. It just click on done. It's just got one ship on it at this point in time, and I've got some other ships back over here on the actual planet itself. So this military starbase, if I double click it, none of these I don't think add to the other ships. It only adds to the starbase itself. So I've got the starbase defense system. The beam attack, the missile attack, all those other different bits and pieces are only for the starbase, not for anything else. And so this is just a basic one, where it's got the so the military starbase, dedicated starbase to protecting your civilians and its assets. So I thought that the +1 beam attack, +1 kinetic attack, missile and shield and armor ratings were all added to ships in its vicinity, so that any ship would get those bonuses to it. If we just click on done, and then have a look at the ship that's actually in there, and have a look at its stats. Its missile attack is 7.2. That's all coming from the Phoenix missiles though, and then the upgrades from tech. The shield is 3, not 13. So we're not getting any bonuses at all there from the starbase. The evasion doesn't go up at all from the starbase, and the armor rating doesn't go up at all from the starbase. So in this case, it basically the starbase doesn't do anything to help that particular ship. And when I was actually fighting the AI as well, they had a massive starbase next to Drengi, just here actually, and this particular group was fighting it was dealing with ships that were certainly within the realm of where that one actually was based, and that was also then causing there was no drama at all with the actual ships. And so I thought that they may have changed it so that they no longer get the bonuses. But yeah, sort of, it's just weird. So I did report it, but I actually, in hindsight, I prefer it now. I'm thinking, because the starbase itself was a point of resistance. I think it should give some benefit, but not what it used to. That +10 in shielding and armor was way too much. Maybe it should be sort of like a bit of a sliding scale, depending on the class of ship. That would be cool. Maybe it's because it's too easy to defend the way it used to play, but it may be a bug. I'm not sure. Where are we up to? So, but I'm saying you need the modules though. But the first one is the one that normally would have done it. You need modules on the starbase. Well, I've got other ones as well. I've got another one set up in here, which has got everything except for an xenoarchaeology lab. So we've got military starbase, which, as I say, I thought was supposed to give us that bonus. Perimeter scanners, got the defense system, which again just gives the extra bonuses to the actual starbase itself. Harpoon salvo, which is pretty cool. Barrier defense, and then advanced defenses back in through here as well. So it certainly sort of added to the starbase. But again, the ships themselves that are there don't have any of the updates. So nothing at all. So I don't know if that's a bug at this stage. I notice there's been a lot of bugs in the like basically in this version that I'm playing, like there's a lot of things that looks like they've sort of been, oh, quick, let's just get this one out. As I'm playing with the experimental version of the game itself, and that's what happens when games are in development like this. And I just wonder if that's a bug that's either slipped through. But to be honest, I find that the +10 in shield and armor when it's applied to fighters and bombers is just too much. Like I think that's way too much. But I'm saying it doesn't look right. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so it's not just me then, because I was surprised. I really thought, okay, these should be getting a lot more. And in combat, that didn't work out either. But I'm saying, to be honest, the game is changing so fast, I can't even keep up with it. Yeah, it is. It's really, really rapid. But it was one of those things. I actually hope they don't go back to what they had with the flat 10 for shielding and armor, but a sliding scale for depending on the size of the ship, I think would be pretty cool. I did report it, by the way, so that one was reported. But in hindsight, I wish I now had have said I actually don't mind it. Because one thing that they do have, which is also not working correctly, which again I like, which I didn't report actually, this one, is with the military star bases, you've got where is it? The harpoon salvo. So it adds a harpoon salvo and the ability to attack enemies up to 3 tiles away. So what this one does is it gives you a missile attack of +4 to the actual starbase itself, but it also gives it a range. But I found that the starbase, this is why I think it may be working as designed, was that I think it could actually attack with its missiles anywhere in here. Because I certainly was being attacked when that starbase was there. I was being attacked over here. So there was actually a so that the within 3 wasn't applying. It was certainly within its range of its sphere of influence, and again I didn't mind that at all. That made it make more sense. So I've got a funny feeling that they're tweaking things maybe for the Warlords update or something like this, which I don't mind that. I think that could be quite cool. Just saying late for the stream, and Sorbical saying there are modules that are quite late on the tech tree. There are, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I did have a bit of a look. I'll just have a quick look and see. The Tech Navigator, if we go to engineering, says this is the Starbase modules. No, it would be under military, I think, wouldn't it? Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. There's the harpoon missiles, but that's not the one that gets applied to the harpoon salvo. There we go. It'd be cool if we could search by the starbase modules. So that's the harpoon salvo there. Missile attacks. Nope, there's nothing. There's one. Nightmare delivery system adds a harpoon salvo and the ability to attack enemies up to 7 tiles away. Now that's what's happening right now. So that was already from the Drengen was certainly attacking my ships up to that range. So now I wonder if I don't think that they wouldn't have this one unlocked, but that's what was unlocked. Basically, that was firing at me was this nightmare delivery system, and I quite liked it. I've got to say, I really did think that was good, and I liked it that the ships didn't get all the bonuses that they used to get as well. So we've got the so that's the one that's definitely what was in play. Now that may be because I was testing that. It may be let's turn everything else off and turn this one on for star bases, but it may be that applied way back down to the way down into the Phoenix missile systems with their Harpoon salvo, because it's the Harpoon salvo, but up to 7. That was definitely what I was experiencing. So maybe descriptions are wrong. I don't know, but I actually got to say I didn't mind. I didn't mind the differences, but I was expecting to play the old way. Anyway, that's sort of where that one was. Defense systems are only for star-based defense. The defense grid tech for the fleets. Defense grid tech. Where's that? That's evasive techs. Defense grid. Is that back here as well? Nope. Defense grid. I'm not seeing that one. Not seeing it. Barrier array, but this is only just for the that's for just the shield strength of the actual of what it is itself. Yeah, I'm not sure where the military star bases kick in either. I think it's just part of the base game. What version am I using? I'm using the 1.2. Oh, hang on. I was going to say 1.25F, which is the Shadow Empire version. Oh, hang on. Main menu. Yes. 2.3. Yeah, so 2.3. Yeah, Battlemate saying the current 2.3 has a base module giving the usual bonuses to fleets. Not for me. Not for me, and not in this game. It is the latest version, but yeah, it's not working for me. So I'm not sure. Hi ZXM, how are you going? Yeah, look up Zalon Defense System, says Silbercol. Okay, let's have a look in. Let's go back and continue again. Also, it's the fortification module for defending. Yeah, I love the main menu animations for Galaxy. I love all of them, to be honest. It's improved so much. So we're looking for Tech Navigator. What was it again? The Zalon. Nope, there's no such thing as a Zalon defense. There's too many. Zalon defense. No idea. I don't know where that is. I don't have Zalon defense system, unless it's a part of something inside something else. I don't know. I'll have to go looking through every single one of them again. I'm guessing it's in here somewhere. So I'm saying, wearing my Daz Dwarf Fortress hoodie, you love it. I got to do more of that sort of stuff, actually, more of those sort of illustrations. I was thinking that today, actually, I should start drawing a bit more often, because I do enjoy doing it. I can't see it. No. I won't keep on wasting time. Anyway, it's there's certainly things are changing. It's a state of flux with the game at this stage. Battlemate's saying that actually I've missed it. They changed star bases like that. I don't mind where it is, to be honest, like to a certain degree, but there should be some benefit, but not what it was. It was too much before. So yeah, I didn't mind having it off. So Battlemate's saying, I'm not sure I like the change much. I like them to giving a boost to your fleets at the start. I think it should be a percentage boost and not a flat Percentage boost would be better for the shielding and the armor than a flat 10, because it meant that all you had to do was just build up fighters or bombers and just have them sit at your planets or around the military bases, and they were, incredibly powerful, incredibly cheap and incredibly powerful. Warlords almost like cheapest as battle mode. Yeah, I agree. So things are changing so much in the game. Like it's not like they're tweaking a little thing here or there. It's massive changes. Now, talking about massive changes, let's go to a different game. Because look at this. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I put up a video about it just a couple of hours ago, actually. But this is look at Shadow Empire. What we now have to play with. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but these came out a couple of days ago. So you got to be playing in version 1.25F of Shadow Empire. Start your game, and eventually, it does take a little bit of time. Under the additional classes, additional planetary classes, we now have Colossus classes. So if you play on large Colossus class, and just go continue, and you can play with the Oceania DLC with this one if you're wanting to, which is actually quite interesting, like to see what it generates. So you have chosen a planet type, Colossus class, super size. Now before we start the generation, just tell us what they want. That's okay. Just go continue. So this one is 2.4 G, nearly 10,000 kilometers. We'd need more heavy. We'll need to re-roll that to get the heavier elements up. This is a 10.2 kilometer. Look, to put this, the scale of the planets in the solar system, like Earth and Venus, are 6,000-ish, 6,300, I think, very similar size in terms of their radius. And then the next one up from that, I don't think I think even the biggest moons of Jupiter are still smaller than the Earth and Venus by quite some way. They're about the same size as Mars, I think. But then the next planets, which aren't gas giants, are they're still technically gas giants. I think Neptune and Uranus is they've got I think that they're 30 or 25 or something. So, but these are monsters in terms of the actual scale that they actually are. We'll just try to find one that's got meaningful. The heavy elements are up there a little bit, which is good. Should we do better than that? 113. Come on, give me good heavy elements. That's so critical. 143. Okay, this one's only need bigger than 8,000. There we go. 140. 9,300 kilometers. 3.5 G. Just go continue. We'll get ourselves a water world. But this, I think, is going to make Oceania quite interesting to play on these sort of worlds. It takes a long time to figure things out. Yeah, 4G gravity is crazy. Well, in my video, I generated a 5.36, I think it was. Now, this one is just flat plains. Let's re-roll. It does take a while to do this one. Michael's saying we're now in the mood for some Gal Civ. I have to go. Okay, we'll see you later. It's such a good game. Okay, Silvergirl's saying Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, bigger than Mercury, but that's it. I thought they were up around the 4,000 kilometers, which is around I think that Mars is around 4,000. I think. It's not re-rolling anything that's going to be wet enough. So this is saying 4G is more than what's the surface gravity on the gas giants are. Really? Okay, there we are. The atmosphere to gravity ratio will be nuts to have viable air forces. I know. Even it's funny when you generate one of these worlds. I'll just go with whatever the next one generates, so you can get an idea of the scale. Come on, give me water. Give me water. Make it a big water world. There we go. That's probably going to be good enough. So this one here, like we got So we've got four millibars as well. Like, we've got essentially 4G, 4 millibars. So it's very, very thick, soupy atmosphere on this particular one. Just go continue. It takes forever to load, to generate, because there's just so much it has to do. Yeah, Battlemode's saying, have you played one yet? People are asking me to play it, but I never finish a game that big. Yeah, I'm the same. I would have to. I generated a water world that I thought, yeah, I could play that because it was a minuscule amount of land, and that was looked really quite cool actually to have such a lot of water. Here we go. We're just going to continue here. So we even got life on this particular planet. Oh wow, this is actually a very good Earth-like, massive Earth-like. It's going to be very, very hard to walk around on. My phone keeps on beeping at me. I'm just going to figure out what's going on here. It's severe weather warnings and ant attack warnings. Just going to continue. There's landing, good old landing. Yeah, imagine with the survival stress is battle mode, yeah. So, actually, Wolftooth is saying, holy cow, the highest mountain reaches 10 kilometres, yeah. It's very, very tall. This is seeing that the gas giants are not that dense, but it's still big gravity wells, yeah. Okay, that's the apocalypse. That's a lot of people, but again, it's a big world. Volvanus Tyrannus. So yeah, this is it here. We start the game. Oh, hang on, I shouldn't have started the game. Shouldn't have started the game. Anyway, we'll have a quick look. I'll just quickly get into it and have a look what's going on. It's going to be interesting to see how long it will take for the AI to play their turns. This is really chugging along. There we go. Correct logo. Gee, there must be a lot of players on this one. Gee, it really is thinking hard. So we'll just get rid of that one for as an example. So that's the so that's where we start. So that looks all very, very cool. Then we start to zoom out. That's the furthest possible zoom that we have. We're sort of starting on one of the poles. This one does have it's a bit of a water world. Let's go and open up the mini map. That's the scale of the world. So we're playing in that little portion, and you've got all this to play with. It's just, you would never stop playing this map. It's just crazy. It's ridiculous how big this is. It's just phenomenally large and complex. But it looks really, really interesting. I mean, this is all these little islands. I mean, imagine how long you'd be playing for. You'd be taking over this whatever your contiguous landmass is. So you'd be getting this first, I guess, to control that island. But then, it would just be non-stop. I don't think you'd finish. It's just incredible, the size of these things. So Yeah. Anyway, that's the mini map is really the key to it. I did a video showing all the sizes of all the different planet types. Finishing up with the Colossus class, and one of these screens is, I think it's 6 times larger than a moon class. So you put that into the bottom corner there. I think you can fit 10 moon widths across the front of one of these, and 10 down as well. So it's like 100 times bigger than one of these small moons that can be generated. So anyway, that's the stuff that is now inside Shadow Empire for those of you that are sort of masochistic enough to play it that way. And I was thinking of battle mode when I was thinking of someone who would be masochistic enough to do it. We'll quit that one. But I think that's pretty interesting. What's coming with Shadow Empire? I always love the changes that happen with that one, with that particular game. It's always interesting. Now, what else is there to talk about? Let's have a look at the other games. Actually, no, I can tell another one as well. There's been more changes. If you just go back to the store pages again. So Gyrox is saying, look at victory overview. Victory overview of what? Sorry. Oh, sorry, of the game. So too late. Too late. We're already out. And we're not going to generate another one. So we'll go and what was I going to do? That's right, Xenonauts. Xenonauts 2 are gearing up for the next milestone. Milestone 2 was incredibly good. Now the experimental version of Milestone 3 has now been released as well. So that's just come out in the last couple of days. So this update is also now only accessible by switching to our experimental branches, which I do have installed, although note that they have a slower loading time. So these haven't been optimized, so you may not want to install this one yet. This is our first test build of Milestone 3. I'm surprised they released this one so fast. Releasing it to test for stability issues. The key changes. So this is the new stuff that's now coming for Xenonauts. You've got the playable time for the campaign has been extended to 260 days from 180 days, during which time the cruiser UFO will begin to spawn. This contains or unlocks several new pieces of content. So I like what they're doing with this, and I know that a lot of people don't want to play Xenonauts until it's got the final, you can finally win the game. But the way that they're approaching this, I think, works really, really well, because they're tweaking things as they go. And so they've now, in this experimental version, they've now got the cruiser UFO with 2 different interior layout variants, alien fusion weapons, Xenonaut fusion weapons, the Gemini Interceptor, the Pegasus dropship, the Ares, an improved version of the Mars. And at present, we only have research text art for some of these projects. The remainder will be finished off by the end of next week. So things are happening with the game, which is really, really cool. In Milestone 2, they didn't really extend the campaign out any further than what it was, but they tweaked so many things. It was such a fun game to play. Sizzle's saying I got Xenonauts 2 yesterday from GOG. There we go. Yeah, it's a really amazingly good game. So Chris is saying, Daz, have you heard anything regarding Master of Magic? A new DLC is on the way. Yes, it is. And I think I'm allowed to talk about it. I'm scheduled to play it on Friday on the Slytherin TV channel. By the way, while I'm talking about Slytherin TV and all that, the nothing to do with my channel at all, but the on Twitch they've got like different channel points, and Slytherin has got like their own, what are called Slith points, where you can actually redeem them. The more you watch their content, the more points you get, and then you can redeem those points for games. So you can actually just get free games essentially by cashing in your points. So and I will be doing a stream actually in another 3 hours or so from now to I've decided to go over and just, because there's a lot of people who don't understand what to do and how it works. So I'm just going to do a bit of a live stream over there on the Slytherin TV channel to help out and just to help people out if they're wanting to redeem their points. So I don't know how long I'll be there. Yog Dog was also going to come over as well. and we're just going to go through the games that are on offer. There's a lot of really, really good games that they have, so I won't go into too much detail with that one there, but I will be streaming on Slytherin TV again on Friday, and I'm scheduled to show the new DLC, but I haven't received it yet, so let's have a look at that. Anyway, there's lots of good stuff coming with Milestone 3 in that one through there. Let's just go back at the store pages. Master of Magic. Yeah, I can't wait for this one. So this is this one is actually not releasing for another 2 weeks. So so that's why I didn't actually include it in things I was going to talk about much in the games that are coming up at this point in time, because I will be covering that a lot next week because I will have played it by then, and I'll be able to talk about it, and then it will be releasing within a few days after next week's stream. But I thought it may, like, because I don't actually have it yet, it may just be a little bit too early to go through it. But it's Scourge of the Seas is the one that's coming, and it just says coming soon, but that's actually, it's 2 weeks away. They should be changing this, because I know that they're now giving dates for this one. They gave it on their own live stream, like the news live stream that they do. Okay, so we've got the where do we go with it? Yeah. So anyway, this is Scourge of the Sea is going to introduce like a fair few different things with this. So we've got about this content. Master of Magic: Scourge of the Seas is an expansion that brings new wizards, races, heroes, and challenges to the world of Arcanus. Dive into an exciting adventure filled with magic, mayhem, and conquest as you explore the depths of the mythical seas. So explore the new race. So once fearsome orcs who refused to give up their warlike ways and became pirates. The Scourges have been cursed, becoming spectral beings, driven by greed and envy. They can traverse land and sea effortlessly, and they have unique buildings and units to enhance their abilities. So it's like a pirate faction. New heroes with unique events. So meet 3 exceptional heroes, each with their own captivating stories and unique events. So they've got different heroes in through there. New challenges, so embark on a journey to the depths of the sea, exploring the Reef Island and the Wind Caves. So there's a whole lot of new things now in the water. Face monstrous boss lairs and back in through there. Harness new water resources. This is actually interesting. This is the thing I'm probably the most interested in, to be honest, is to actually be able to harness resources that are outside of your terrain. And what I hope that they end up doing is introducing something for all the factions to be able to go and access resources that aren't strictly part of an actual city. That could be quite interesting to be able to do that one. So utilize 3 new map resources to enhance your shoreline cities. A new arcane spell allows you to harvest sea resources that fall outside your city's catchment area. So I'm pretty sure that arcane spell will probably only be for that. Actually, maybe an arcane spell would be for everyone. Okay, well, that's going to be for sea resources. But what it does allow is you've got the features 4 new powerful wizards, new exciting wizard traits, a new race, the Scourges, 3 new heroes, 3 new water lairs and map resources, a new arcane spell, a new boss lairs. But there's more than that. Let's have a look at this. If we just go back to these and just press F11 and see if that will go. Yeah, it goes a bit bigger. So Sea Harvest transmutes a sea resource. So this is actually it in here. It's pretty cheap. So Sea Harvest transmutes a sea resource to provide plus 10 casting skill progress. I'm not sure what that one does. Oh, hang on. That one destroys the resource. Okay, that's not really all that good for us. Let's go next. There's certain pirate ships and things that you can now go and get as well. This is sort of like these different reef islands and things you then end up getting. But this is combat. This is combat with the Scourges. Actually, if we go back, we can see the Sea Scourge. So the Scourges are the ones that are back up in through here, I think. I think that's what they are. They're not this side, or maybe they are. Yeah, I'm not seeing them in there. And then they've got Paragon ghost ships. These ghost ships and things, I think, come from the... again, this is another battle that's going on, but I think you can recruit these from outside your territory if you're one of the Scourge group. Then they've got the captain in through here as well, like a different sort of character. Well, there's the ghost ships. And that's the captain there. And they've got some other sort of naiad or dryad or something like that that's there. By the looks of things, I don't know. I'm looking forward to being able to play it. Yeah, it's a lot more interest now in the ocean. A lot more interest, actually. This is quite cool. More choke points as well. This is very, very cool, actually. To be able to have sort of like stuff in the ocean that will then slow you down as you're doing things. They're really doing a great job of fleshing the game out, I've got to say. So what else is there that we didn't get to? Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the slithers, the different sorts of scourges. So that is a commander. This is just Scourger Cavalry. And this is just a sea creature, but it's, again, I think it would be still a Scourges type unit. Just funny because the one previously did have like a little pirate faction thing there. I'm not sure what this one's got. Let's keep on loading in more. That's another commander. I'm uncomfortable with the amount of resistance that they give to the commanders. I've got to learn how to play it better, I guess. So anyway, I'm scheduled, and I haven't been told otherwise, but I'm scheduled to stream that. Actually, while we're doing this, I'll just quickly have a look and see if I've got if anything has come through, and I can give you a notification whether I've got the stuff or not. I'll just check my emails just while we're doing this. Nothing there, and let's read it. Cool. Yeah, no, I will. Yes, so that's confirmed. I will be showing that on Friday, and I'll have codes tomorrow for that one, so I'll be able to then test it tomorrow. So I'm a day early as far as being able to show things. So that's that will be. So we'll definitely be showing this later this week, and then also then doing a lot more other content on Slytherin TV with this one as well, and also here on my channel. I really enjoy playing Master of Magic. I think it's such a great game. Anyway, so yeah, that's confirmation, live confirmation that the codes are coming tomorrow, and I'll then be able to show that off. So Pale Wolf Plays is saying, yeah, I got it on GOG. I don't see there's an experimental mode there. Oh, maybe not. You may be right. If we go back to Xenonauts, where was it? Instructions on how to do it here. So if you click on that one, let's have a look and see. Experimental branches and how to access them. So this is a Goldhawk interactive. I'll just zoom it up a bit. So Steam and GOG. There we go. Changing branches. So load up GOG Galaxy. Right click on Xenonauts 2. Click on the settings menu at the top of the screen. The icon looks like two sliders. Hover over Manage Installation and then click on Configure. Use the Beta Channels drop-down to choose Experimental or Legacy branch. If the drop-down is disabled, make sure the game isn't currently loaded or already open. Select Disabled if you want to revert back to the stable branch at any point. There we go. There we go. Confirmation. Live confirmation. We can zoom in and show it. Oops, hang on. Where is it? There we go. That's how to do it in GOG and in Steam. So you've got the two different ways of doing it. But yeah, GOG does have it as well. So that's all cool. Good. Done. Now, other things. Let's go. I think I really didn't prepare much. I've been pretty much out of action all week. So I'll go back to my own Steam area, and have a look at the information that's at the top of my news area in my Steam. So Pale Wolf Plays is saying, nice, I had no idea. Yeah, I didn't either. I actually just assumed, oh yeah, no, GOG always gets left out. Sorbical's saying, as much as it's good, look, the time you've taken those Xenonauts too, they really should have had it out by now. I agree, but I like what they're doing. Like it's, I think for the final game is going to be better for what they're doing than rushing. I know it sounds bad, but it's sort of it took them so long to get here anyway. I don't mind that they're. It's a bit like Dwarf Fortress. You know, it's going to take forever, but you know that's going to be good. So Wolftooth is saying there's a new conquest of EO DLC coming out soon. So Geordie on the Age of Wonders 4 Discord was talking about it. Oh, that'll be interesting. I really hope that they bring in random maps. That would make that game so good. In fact, can we find that? Let's go and have a look. Conquest of EO. Demon Scourge. Please have random maps. It's not going to though, is it? It's not going to. 14th of Feb, so it's not that far away. 2 weeks. New threat rises. Trolls, yeah, blah, blah, blah. New mage class. New adventures, new units, new powers. No new map, no new maps. So no random maps. So it'd be good, but it won't be great. We need it to be great. We need to have random maps. Let's go back to here and just go back into the... just see what else I've downloaded. Just see what other ones have had updates that are important. USC Counterforce, that had some interesting updates that just came out as well. So this is just got new rooms and things that have been sort of added to it. So new environment map type or theme, hydroponics. So 2 new single player map types, so hydroponic labs and hydroponic engineering level in the mines. New experimental modifiers with flooding. So this is getting better and better, this game. It's a good game anyway, but it's really becoming really quite special, I think. So in terms of squad-based games, I've got to go back and play more of this because it's such a good game for a procedurally generated map. They've done very, very well. So I keep on forgetting to read more of the comments, and now they've scrolled off the top. Where are we? No, I'm not. Sorry. No, I was looking in the wrong place. So Wolftooth saying, yeah, they're releasing the Primal Fury announcement stream tomorrow. Yeah, that'll be in 22 hours, I think. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what that one is. So, yeah, Age of Wonders 4 content coming soon. This is probably the one I'm least looking forward to, but I'm still looking forward to it, but not as much as the others that have come. But I've been so pleasantly surprised with everything else that Age of Wonders 4 has brought out that I am really looking forward to it. So, Viren Games is saying, hey, Daz, are you going to cover Manor Lords? Have you got early access to it? I don't have early access to it. I haven't followed up with Hooded Horse. They've got so many games coming out, but when they do have games, I tend to get them when they give the keys out. So I would expect that would still be the same case. I've got a good relationship with the guys, so I'm sure that will be the case. Manor Lords probably isn't exactly in my wheelhouse as such. Like, it's not exactly the sort of game that I tend to play, but I have expressed interest in it. So I know that they'll be looking out with that one through there. Of course, Xenonauts is another of the Hooded Horse games. Pale Wolf says, yeah, nice, I had no idea that was about these Xenonauts GOG stuff. So Cecil's saying, Daz, master of reading instructions. There we go. So actually, please have random maps so we can get Daz to playing EO. I really like the game. I love the mechanics. I love the way that they've done with the units. I just don't like that it's only one map all the way through. So Cecil's saying Daz should mod in random maps to everything, even chess. I would. So if it like would for me would make chess really quite interesting. Dennis saying sometimes when I have a cold, I wish my voice would sound like that all the time. I don't, because it sort of hurts. Primal Fear, unless you're doing like voiceovers for sort of like evil, evil sort of Warhammer stuff, then having a croaky voice isn't too bad. Primal Fury is one of the most hyped for pre-release, at least the theme of it. Hoping it's as good as the other one. New Culture and Tome sounds good, but it's one of the $10 packs. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's funny though, because I mean, actually, I wasn't gonna do it because next week I was going to go through Age of Wonders and Master of Magic and stuff. But let's do it. Brilliant. I'm in no screaming rush. Yeah. So Hooded Horse. This is this year for Hooded Horse. Wow, what a big year this is going to be for them. It's just incredible what they've got coming up. Peter Jarp is saying, "Hey Daz, try out Total War Warhammer 3." I'm not on the good books with Creative Assembly. There's nothing I can do about it. It's such a struggle for me to get anything from them that I don't bother trying anymore. It's such a nightmare for me. So I never bothered. I never bother even. I would love to cover Warhammer, like the Warhammer content out of Total War, but the only way I can do that is if I cover everything that they do. But they bring out stuff that just isn't good, as well as great stuff, and so I prefer to be true to my own, to what I say on the channel and to my own beliefs. I don't like being told what to say or do by developers, and so I don't want to play the game as far as Total War is concerned. You can't wait for Menace. Yeah, Menace again. Another great game coming out from the makers of Battle Brothers and also Hooded Horse as well. So I want to see Sir Daz von Tactic's medieval tyrannical adventures in Manor Lords. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. There's so many great games coming out. So Creative Assembly have always been bad community relations going back to the Shogun 1 days. I don't know about that. I mean, it's they weren't massive back at Shogun 1, although I didn't have contact with them back then. And Sacred Boy is saying, yeah, Creative Assembly and Sega are not a good combo, to be honest. Yeah, it's all Creative Assembly. It's not Sega, says Derner. I don't know. I haven't had good dealings with either one of them, to be honest. I mean, it hasn't been bad. It's just been super awkward. Like it's just been one of those things where it's just been, I don't know. They're too big. They're too big for me. Like it's it doesn't. I don't. I can assure you that when I get sponsored content or anything like that, I don't lie. I don't pretend. I don't hype it up. If I don't like something, I would say. In fact, if I don't like something, and this has happened to me before, where I've been offered sponsorship to show a game, and I've accepted the contract. I've signed the contract, and then I've received the key of the game. Started to play it and realised I really don't like playing it, so I couldn't recommend it. So I basically I then go back and refuse the contract. And it's not that there's anything that, all it means is that basically I don't do anything, and then they don't get to, they don't essentially, they don't pay me for it. So, but it's funny, some people don't like that I do that. Some of the developers, I don't do it very often because usually I know I'm going to like the game, but I that's my approach. I prefer not to get sponsored and then not embarrass them by saying negative things about their game. If it's a game that I like, it's funny because if it's a game I like, or if it's the more passionate I am about a game, the more critical I am of it when I show it, but the more I love it. So it's sort of one of those weird things where I tend to be more critical of the game that I really, really like, and which I think is still fine because at least you're still getting the passion across along with the things that do need to be looked at. I think it's important that when I do present a game for you guys, that it's that I'm trying to do. I always do it from the mindset of would you know I don't want you to buy a game that you're not actually that's not a good fit for you is I guess the criteria. And look, most of the developers are happy with that. Some are even happy if with a negative type review. Like if it's if I don't like, I'm under no instruction not to hype it up. I know that a lot of content creators, all they do is hype it up because they know that they can get money out of developers by doing that. But it's just not a good way to do it. In my opinion, anyway. So, and so getting back to Creative Assembly and Sega, it's just, I don't know. They just, if you didn't dance their tune all the time, all of a sudden they'd squeeze you out, so you didn't get to show anything. And you can find videos of other content creators that have had long relationships with them, and all of a sudden it all just goes very, very sour very quickly. So for me, it wasn't anything that went sour. I just decided I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to be the dancing monkey. Have other people be the dancing monkey, not me. But I would have loved to have covered Warhammer 3, to be honest. But it just wasn't worth the cost of covering the other games that I'm not interested in. Yeah. So CB is saying, stepping away for a few. Please add me to Marbles if it starts soon. Yeah, we will start that one fairly soon. Yeah, publisher has a lot to do with bad decisions. Trust me, says Sacred Boy. I agree with you, 100%. Having said that, it's a hard game it's a hard thing for a lot of publishers and developers to get the balance right. And I'm thinking of other games that didn't go well, that could have gone a lot better if there was more time. But then time is money as well, so it's a hard one. So Derna's saying this is the only game channel review. This is the only game review channel that can actually get me to open up Steam and have a look. There we go. So Derna's saying, back in Shogun 1 days, this is when devs would speak directly to people on the forums. The PR guy would ban people for making suggestions. Oh wow, it was bad. Wow, I didn't know that. Tenris, because I loved Shogun 1. I thought that was an incredibly good game. God, when did that come out? That was in the early days of the internet too. That was around 2000, I think. Tenra is saying, I got the feeling that the bigger the game, the thinner the skin is in regards to the critique. If you don't shower them with praise, they're done with you. Yeah, it's funny. Like it's, as I say, like the developers that I deal with are, I'm thinking of Slytherin, for example. I do so many games that that I do with Slytherin. Like, there's no pressure for me to, like, if I don't like a game, like, that's fine, like, it's I think that for them, and I love this about Slytherin, and probably because I do so much with them, I sort of know them more than most other publishers, is that they really seem to be very, very passionate about making sure that the game fits the player, and so that I don't think they want massive sales that aren't going to be, that people are going to be disappointed with. So for them, I think it's very important. They certainly want sales, but they want sales to their target audiences, and so that's why I think it works well. And I've always liked their approach. It's been very pragmatic, and it's very, very collegial and very win-win, like with their audience and with their market. With their games as well, so it does well. You're doing saying Ian McNeil used to be on Slytherin's forums all the time. He'd talk to anyone. He still does. He still does. And like all of them at Slytherin, they're really good people. Like, it's sort of I'm raving about them now, but they're just really, really nice people to deal with, and they don't. There's no pressure on me. And it's the same. Look, Stardoc's been like that as well. Like with Gal Civ and the stuff I've been doing with that. It's been I've really, really enjoyed that, and it's been really, really nice. So like, these are sort of, I guess, medium-sized companies. But it's I find that working relationship with those sort of companies works very, very well. Paradox I don't really have a big in with, but I'm sort of I would like to be stronger with Paradox, but they're probably a little bit bigger than the others, or probably a fair bit bigger. But it's but certainly with Age of Wonders, I've certainly keep on knocking on the door there. So Okay, where are we up to with it? So, yes, as I was saying, I tend to get the game Daz plays. Likely I've gotten them anyway. So Daz likes to rack up a few sales for the devs. Well, it's more that I know what I like, and I know that if you guys are watching me, then we probably all like the same sort of games together. That's why when you guys do recommend games to me, I do tend to go and sorry for saying how does one join marbles? You just got to be in the chat at the time, and then I just give you there's no prize pool today. There's just we're just racing to see who wins. Had a massive win a week ago, biggest win ever with the points that were scored. I think it was 23 points was the winning margin last week, which was massive. Yeah, so anyway, we'll continue on. So Tenor is saying as soon as the founders start leaving companies, they go to shit. Yeah, I don't know if they always do, but yeah, I guess to a degree. But I'm saying that definitely sells a lot of copies of games he covers. There's no doubt about that. I think that's where being genuine, being positive and negative about the good and bad points. I know for me, like I love reading the negative reviews in Steam about a game that I'm interested in. Not to stop me from buying it, but to allow me to realise, yeah, this game would work for me or not work for me, and I get more from that. So I think that when someone only ever hypes up games, so if that's all you ever get from somebody, and none of the actual this doesn't work or that doesn't work, you can't trust what people say. And so anyway, it's for me the negatives are good. Sarks are saying that's definitely not good on the wallet. Yeah, a Sacred Boy is saying Paradox selling us 50% of full game and then the other 50% in DLC. Yeah, I don't like that, but I understand it. I certainly understand where it came from, but I probably think it's overdone now for some games. They're saying the video game industry is sort of unique in that there is a lot of people involved who have no respect for the industry itself. Nobody in Hollywood says movies are dumb. Yeah. It's sort of it's interesting, isn't it? Well, do people in Hollywood say movies are dumb? I thought some did. So, Tenor is saying you don't want a one-sided echo chamber that promotes the good and hides the bad. Exactly, because it's bad for everyone. It's bad for the game as well. So Jack Timberlake is saying, what's your view on game pirating? I think it's bad. For games, it's sort of one of those things where well, legally it's bad. That's one thing, but also like some of these devs work so hard on their games, and I particularly hate seeing it for indie games. Like somebody had mentioned the other day that the Already Dominions had sort of hit that area, and I hate that. I hate hearing that because it's sort of I don't say much about it, but when I hear it, I think, oh God, that's really disappointing. I just hope that too many people don't end up partaking in it, if you know what I mean. Pal was saying, yeah, Daz, I watch your stuff because you point out the negatives and what you feel might work better. I agree with you usually 80% of the time. Yeah, and it's cool. I think it's one of those cool things. So Battlemode's saying the same issues we've got with certain devs, so clearly despising gamers is also prevalent. I think it is too. I think it is. Can't wait to see the back of the situation myself. Yeah, sort of. We live in a funny time, actually. I've got to say, it's strange times indeed that we do live in. It's sort of. I feel sorry for young people at the moment because the world is not a forgiving place, and it's. I'll just get some more honey. Sorry. Yeah, we live in our little echo bubbles, and there's nothing positive. Oops, sorry. That was nice. But yeah, and that extends across all sorts of different things, and it's just I hope that it goes back, but I don't think it will. I think social media has destroyed so much of the goodwill that people have for each other, and I don't see that getting any better. It's a tricky one. Dennis saying Hollywood might say the customer is dumb, but not the medium itself. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Battlemo saying it's a good point. Yeah, but no, it's sort of funny. I keep on trying to think. What can fix the ills of the world? Because the ills of the world I've thought pretty deeply about that because it's just crazy. Anyway, let's keep on moving on. What was I going to show? I was going to show Age of Wonders, wasn't I? What was I doing in USC? We just had a quick look at the new updates that are coming with the Hydroponic Hell major update. Does it show graphics? Single missions in through there. Yeah, bug infestations in there as well. That's outside in the mines layer with the same sort of infestations. And okay, that was a different Christmas event. Anyway, that's gone. That's all right. Let's get back out. Store page, and then we can do another search. Oops. Is that, yeah, I'll go back to this one. And we'll then just do Age of Wonders. We'll just quickly cover this one, and then we'll I'll have a quick look through the news as well. I know there's a fair few games that have got things happening. This week is sort of one of those weird little lull weeks in between big releases. Got some massive releases coming up in the next few weeks. Like no one's mentioned what I consider to be one of the best games coming out, which will be coming out within the next couple of weeks as well. Yet, so we'll see if we're on the same wavelength. There's something coming out next month that I'm surprised no one has even mentioned it yet, unless I've completely missed it. And I do apologise if I have missed anything at all coming up. So anyway, we'll just go back in. Primal Fury, there it is. Now this is that's not the announcement for it. That's just continuing on with other stuff. Let's just get rid of that. So they are doing an announcement tomorrow for Primal Fury. Coming soon. I don't know when that's coming. I have asked for information about it. So we'll see what actually happens with that one. Help us improve the game. I did actually take that survey. It's not what I thought it was going to be to be honest. It's sort of, I think it's more just a viewership survey more than an actual feedback survey. They did ask for feedback. I did that before I started streaming actually, so I just filled it in just to sort of see what that would entail, and it was not well, it was basically just what your interests were, I guess, so they can try to sort of match the content, but it wasn't about what's wrong with the game, because I know that so many of you don't like it as much as I do. Because is that it? So we scroll all the way down. So we go from the Primal Fury content pack. Maybe they're going to flesh it out tomorrow. Maybe that's tomorrow that we'll get more information. Anyway, all we've got is I can read this one really slowly because it's going to take no time at all. So channel nature's spirits in the no, I won't do that. In the Age of Wonders 4. Primal Fury content pack creates races using new beastly forms and a primeval culture. New tomes of magic tap nature's hidden powers and the Fey realms. Your surroundings contain new forms of wildlife, creatures, and bountiful resources. The Fey realms, for me, I love the idea of that, but I don't know how that's going to work. So I don't know how that's going to apply to it. So for me, the jury's out on what this means, but that's probably the one thing I'm most excited about, is the Fey realms. And looking at this, that's a Fey realm type graphic. Let's have a look and see. Let's take the survey. Now that was a previous stream, but these are this is more sort of like from the Fey realm. Interesting. The fact that they're using purples and the light coming through here as well is very of the shadow realm stuff that they had back in Age of Wonders 2, which I didn't ever really like. But if they combined that with Fey, if they brought the Eldritch, because the next one after this one is Eldritch. If Eldritch and Fey is if Fey expands that way into the game, that would be really, really cool. Okay, now I'm sort of off on some other sort of tangent, where now I'm making stuff up that probably is not going to be even close to what's going to happen. But I can see that being fairly interesting. Let's have a look and see. Just make doubly sure that is. Yeah, that's the different tomes that they're talking about. There's nothing else there. It is back up with the other bits and pieces. Yeah, so the Eldritch Realms opens portals to realms filled with arcane marvels and unspeakable horrors. New forces threaten the ruler. Yeah, okay. This is one of the other big content packs. So I've got a small content pack coming up, which Dragon Dawn, like, you know, I don't consider that a small content pack. They brought so much to the game. And Primal Fury is going to be about the same sort of thing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that one. But if that's the start of being able to bring in like really dedicated Fae characters into the game as well, that could be interesting with the Eldritch Realms if they went that way rather than the sci-fi type feel to it. Yeah, Wolftooth saying most of the deaf communication occurs on the Age of Wonders 4 Discord. Yeah, I haven't been on that for. There we go. Gyrox has got it right. Solium Infernum. Now, no one else mentioned it, did they? Yeah, no, that's the one. That's the one. Solium Infernum. That's the one I was thinking of. You're dead right. So Super Mew Kitty Cat saying Age of Wonders 3 is super good, and this space one I did not like much, and my favourite is Age of Wonders 2. Yeah, Age of Wonders 2 was exceptional. I loved that. I liked it more than Age of Wonders 3, but then once you modded Age of Wonders 3, I loved Age of Wonders 3. And then I didn't mind Planetfall at all. In fact, a lot of people still prefer that over Age of Wonders 4. But I do like Age of Wonders 4 now, best out of everything. Like, that's my favourite of all of those. Sacred Boy saying that Shadow Magic is my favourite. Age of Wonders feels old man. I'm not sure what that means. Isn't Eldritch Realms Cthulhu? Yeah, it sort of is. Yeah, Shadow Tiger. It is. It certainly was. It had a sci-fi-ish feel to it. It wasn't just Cthulhu though. It was Cthulhu, but in a weird way. And they had some elements. Certainly in Age of Wonders 3, they toned it back. In Age of Wonders 2, though, they went full on crazy with it. Like it was. I think I modded it out, and it became Shadow Elves in a mod. And so I stopped playing with the game version in Age of Wonders 2. But in Age of Wonders 3, they then did make it much more Eldritch and much more Cthulhu sort of feel about it, which was cool. They didn't overdo it with that one. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see what they do this time. I think that the Age of Wonders 4 has got more heart with what they've done. So a Fae adaptation of that for me would be really, really quite interesting. To sort of have something that sort of extends across into a different area and does something a bit more different. All right, well, let's go back to my actual Steam and have a look at the at everything in here. Go to the library. So DOM 6, they keep on bringing out new patches with this one. So there's been little these have just been bug fixes at this stage. There'll probably be still a fair few more bug fixes to come, which don't diminish the game in any sort of sense. Like it's a very, very polished game. Okay, attention all Master of Magic players. So the new update and DLC for the game arrives on the 8th of February. There we go. Offers an exciting range of important stuff. So that's going to be next week. We'll be able to talk about more of it. I'll be able to show it next week as well, because I will have had the game as of tomorrow. So I'll probably be even showing that off on Twitch if I'm allowed to in the next coming days. I would love to be able to show that and get used to it. So there's Age of Wonders 4, Take the Survey. Airships Conquer the Skies. Now this is just a user interface update. So added map overlays for trade, research and tribute treaties. I've got to say these, I didn't read this. This one came out. So the trade, research and tribute treaties, these map overlays are really good in airships. If you haven't played airships for a little while, play it, because it's the new conquest mode is extremely well done. It's a fun game to play. So the ship editor now uses the latest, uses the last used paint for replacing new modules. That's cool. That means you don't have to tweak around with stuff. The research complete dialogue no longer forces you to pick a new research immediately. I don't know. I actually like to be reminded. So that had one new AI fleet contributed by Gug. I'm not sure what that one is. Parasitic wasps now give a reward the second time you defeat them. That's good. The metal editor now adjusts in size if you have a lot of additional heraldic charges. That's good. When you click a target ship in direct control mode, the resounding sound is now positioned correctly and obeys the volume settings. I wasn't aware of that bug. And there's a desync bug there. But these map overlays, they don't sound like they do much, but God, they make the game good. Like it's such a nice way that the game does do this. I know that I was really scathing of the game for many, not scathing of the actual game, but just the lack of being able to manage the game once you got into a big empire. And it was literally years of me bitching to David, the developer, about this one aspect that just didn't make sense to me. And in the end, he did relent. He put one of these map modes in just because I kept on asking for it, and for me it made a massive difference. I don't know if it has for anyone else, but I'm always very appreciative when they do something like that, because I could recommend the game, but I couldn't recommend it 100% because of the lack of that, because it added so much more micromanagement without that map overlay. So these are great that these are now being fleshed out even more. I'm glad to see that. Actually, I don't even know when the last one we added it in was. I don't even know if he wrote much about it. It was when the DLC came out. I was. This is it. Diplomacy and AI fixes. Maybe not. Fixes, balance. Yeah, it was in around here somewhere. That finally my bitching and whining ended up paying off. I did feel bad at the time, but I thought, it really needs it. It really needs it. Anyway, that was. I do love that game. It's such a good game. Now I don't know if this is finished. Ends January 24th at 1 p.m. EST. Now is that over for you guys? It's the 30th for me. 6 o'clock in the morning. That may still be on. It may still be on. So if you do want to get it, you can grab it at the moment, so we can deal. I forgot to mention it even in yesterday's live stream, but it is 20% off at the moment for the Supernova edition. So that's cool. So there we go. There's me. There's my live streams. I wasn't well enough to stream on the day that they wanted me to stream, so I did a couple of streams after that. Armour Brigade, the page is live. Now, we don't have any detail. I did actually ask, the dev was sitting in on one of the recent tea time streams that Slytherin do, and I did actually ask, do we have a date? And they basically said 2024. So that's all they said. I wouldn't give anything else. Yep, so it is finally live. That's good. Let's just go and have a quick look at that one. Or can we? Just go across to it. Actually, no, I won't do it from there. I'll come back to that. I'll do it from here. Now, this one is something that I don't know how I feel about it. As in, I'm really excited about it, but I'll go through. I can pinpoint the things that I'm not concerned about. Anyway, I'll just pause that for a second, and we'll come back to it. Armour Brigade 2 revolutionises real-time tactical warfare in 3D, focusing on the intense combined arms combat of the Cold War era from 1965 to 1991, boasting a meticulously researched database and huge real-world terrain maps, which is one of the hallmarks of the original game. This game offers an unparalleled combat simulation experience. Now, what's incredible about this is that the maps are real maps, and they're maps that are based on, like, what they've done is they've taken like portions of Europe and then they've digitized them, and like they've got maps from the era, digitized them, and then sort of every single square is then given like a height and all that sort of stuff as well. So they've basically sort of like made, if you imagine fat pixels of these maps, and then designates, okay, that's a house, that's trees and things like that. And so that was how it was originally played, and it worked quite well. You were sort of looking top down. You couldn't really zoom in too far. The graphics weren't anything sort of too exceptional, but the gameplay was. It was really, really cool gameplay. And if we have a look now at it, it's still the same approach with maps, but it's now 3D. And when we have a look at it, let's just zoom this one out. I'm a bit wary about every time I play sound, it ends up causing issues. But see, if we go, I'll do this bit by bit and go through the bits that I like and that I'm a bit worried about. See how this is exactly what I was talking about there. This is big pixel stuff. We're looking at top down. This is the way the maps are sort of set up in the game. Like when you're looking down traditionally, this is the way that it would sort of then work. So you never had roads that went off in anything other than 45s, and so you've got 45-degree angles because it's playing on a tile system, and like that's what sort of is driving it. If we just go and let it go for a second, it's now showing, and again, when you look at this one, see how it's still 45s? Even with the 3D, it's a voxel map. And again, I like that they've been able to do this, but I also feel that some players are going to come into it not realizing that and think that it's going to be something like Broken Arrow, which has got incredible graphics. So, but I'm actually really excited for this from my own perspective. But I worry that people won't realize that we're looking at 45-degree angles through a voxel map of real terrain. Let's just keep on playing. And so this is actually still, everything is, see how linear everything actually is? Which when you know that, because that's again the way the maps are then sort of structured, it's so the things that are happening up in the sky here is just visual of what's actually happening with the attacks. So even that one back there, so I'm being really analytical here. Now this is this is footage from in-game, and so which looks great. I love what they're doing all this, but it's still not going to be I hope that players don't think that they're going to be playing something as visually stunning as Broken Arrow when they play this game. They're going to be playing a different type of game, and so for me, it's the voxel map is you can hardly see it, but it's still actually there. But the overall gameplay, I think, will be more intricate, which I'm really looking forward to. See this one again. See how 45s. The trees are sort of in clumps. You can actually see that's a square, that's a square, that's a square, square, square. So you can see the actual tiling. It still looks great. It'll play incredibly well with what they're going to do. Yeah, it's a huge upgrade from the first AB game, and it certainly is. It's the original game is incredibly good, and this is going to be so I'm actually really excited for this game. But I really hope that there's not a whole lot of people who come expecting it to be Broken Arrow and then think, oh, it's actually more complex to play, or it's not what I thought it was going to be. It looks good, it looks great, but it's clunky in comparison visually. But then again, this is all real world terrain, and so for me, this is so much more strategic than Broken Arrow. So. And I think it's going to, for me, I know this is going to be the game I'm going to be preferring to play out of the two, even though the visuals won't look as good. But it's because of that voxelization. This is what I mean about me going too negative. When I have a game I really, really like, I'll focus on these stupid little things. But you start to be able to pick the voxels. I just hope that look at this, you can sort of see all the squares. But is that going to limit what people think when they play the game? I don't know. This looks very good. This looks very good, actually. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So that's Armoured Brigade 2. I can't afford to play the music, unfortunately, or what's going on with it. But this is the thing I think that I'm going to like about this game incredibly much, like the original, is just how important it will be to capture terrain and to position your forces. Yeah, that I'm saying. I just Google voxel map and all I see is stuff about Minecraft. Yes, it is. It is. That's what it. Voxel mapping is Minecraft basically, and this is Minecraft. Minecraft set in the Cold War with soldiers instead of creepers. Are the buildings destructible? Yes, yeah, they will be because. Well, I'm pretty sure they will be because they were in the original, and so. And it was your fields of fire, and it's funny because in the original, even though it was all it was the maps were one of the selling points because they were based on real world maps. You could actually go and actually look at a Google map area of the same thing, and oh wow, this is pretty cool the way it sort of did work out. And so it's the fields of fire, it's the lines of fire, and things like that, which make it a very very interesting game. So it's going to be a heap more. Almost like a squad-based feel about it, more so than Broken Arrow. And I'm guessing I'll keep on comparing it to Broken Arrow because Broken Arrow is going to be one of the big hits of the year. Like it's going to be an absolute monster. And I've played a bit of Broken Arrow, and I was supposed to actually play a multiplayer game of it when I had the flu, but I just couldn't. I just wasn't able to function, so I couldn't do it. But it was, and I was going to be allowed to show that. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have been able to do that because that's going to be a great game as well. But it's very very different. This game is not really. Well, I don't think it's really geared for multiplayer. Whereas Broken Arrow really is a multiplayer game. And that, for me, is also the negative of something like Broken Arrow. So Liz is saying, will this game have procedurally generated maps? No, it won't, or I don't think it will. But so Bannermite's saying, but it's got massive maps included. So what you do is you end up with you don't need it because you end up with a real world map that is monstrously large. Like, I don't know how many kilometres across it would end up being. And you end up with multiple versions of these different maps from around. In the last one, it was Germany. I'm assuming it'll be sort of around Germany and Italy again, the same sort of whatever they theme it for, and but then you get to choose the section that you play in, and so even though it's not a random map, it might as well be because you get to pick. Okay, look, I feel like playing in a forest today. Look, let's just play in this portion of this monstrously large map. So you're picking and choosing exactly what happens. Like I used to enjoy finding a river crossing, for example, and then setting up a game in the river crossing. So you've got a lot of agency the way you've set it up. Again, different to games like Broken Arrow, which don't have any sort of randomization on the maps themselves. It really like if you don't need random maps in this game, and coming from me, that's pretty big. So Brad and I saying I thought the maps in Armoured Brigade were a real work of art. They were actually. I think I saw something about how they made them. Like they were using maps from the 1980s to actually generate them, and they did have like height maps and things with it as well. So, but this one will be just taking that step further. So I'm really looking forward to this game. Anyway, that's I thought I'd show it, but I would also preface it. If you're thinking it's going to be Broken Arrow, it's going to be much more involved. It's going to be much more hands-on with what you need to go and do, and it's not going to look as pretty. So and it's not going to be multiplayer. I don't think it's going to be multiplayer. I didn't say, but it's really quite. It's going to be cool anyway. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm expecting this to be late this year sometime. Broken Arrow though is coming soon. Maybe we should have a look at that. Now, do you want me to go through my negatives about Broken Arrow? I can go through my negatives about all the games. So so they've got a multiplayer open beta available on January 31st, so that's coming. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this. I'll just get rid of that. Ah, damn it. There we go. So, what's good about the game? A lot, actually. A hell of a lot. So with the game itself, I think I can put the audio on for this. Look at the modeling on this. It's just beautiful. Like, the graphics are incredibly good, like when you play this game. And every time you change the loadout, it changes the models, changes what you can do with the game. So the customization is great. It's a deck builder at its core as well. It's a strategy game, but you basically build a deck of how you want to what you want to have available for you, and so you have all these different sorts of assets. As you see, more than 300 units and 1,500 customization options. You look at all these different sorts of things as well. The different types of things, and these all have bearing on the actual battle. This is the deck building. So you essentially, when you do come in, you end up sort of like essentially constructing your own. Well, this is a multiplayer lobby, but you essentially come in with what deck you want to use, and you can have custom decks. You can have pre-built decks as well. So when you find a match, it's going to be. I think at the moment I've only seen 10-player games, so five per side. I'm not sure how or why they've done it that way. I haven't seen anything other than that. So, going back and having another look at that. So there's your 5 per side, friendly and enemy, coming in on both sides. You've got your different maps. There's not too many maps at this stage, but again, the maps look great. The visuals look fantastic. They really look fantastic. And so when you're sort of moving your forces around, this is what it looks like. But the big negative, for me, the massive negative with the game is that you cannot play it in this mode. You just cannot. You can't enjoy this because it's real time. You don't get a chance to sit back and watch this. Not really, unless you take the time to do it. And in a multiplayer game, you probably don't have time to do that. So it hasn't shown anything of the way you're going to be playing the actual game yet. It's turned off all the other graphics. But this is all destructible terrain. You've got all sorts of incredible things in the game. So there's some amazing stuff in the game. Now it's coming out soon, actually. I'm not exactly sure when, but it must be getting close. But what it doesn't show you, and I'll see if I can find one. That's a deck customization video. See if we can find something. It's all the sexy looking stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to open it up. I don't think I can show it. Yeah, it's not. It's funny because it doesn't show it in the mode that you're going to be playing it in. But this is the these are the maps you're going to be playing. I'll just see if there's anything that shows it. It's sort of funny that it doesn't do it. What's this one here? Okay, this is cool. This will show it. I'm assuming. Oh no, it won't. No, this is. Here we go. Here we go. This is what you'll be playing. So you'll be playing it in this mode, and even further out, because to be able to manage what's going on in the game itself, you need to have an overview and not a close-in view. And so for me personally, I'll just play a little bit of this bit from here. I was hoping to be playing in close and being able to see different things, but in all of the marketing footage, they've actually turned off all the icons, which they're great icons and all that, but it's just too close to be playing the game. The game doesn't even play well at this when you're playing it actually at that sort of zoom level. It plays well as a zoomed out strategic overview game, even though it's got beautiful graphics when you do zoom in. I think the thing for me that was the disconnect for me where that I did end up sort of struggling with the game was that if there's infantry, for example, in one of these infantry fighting vehicles, and they offload and go into the building, they don't, like, it's not like in combat mission where they'll walk out in front, walk across, go in through a door, and then make their way up through the staircase, and then eventually sit up on the top, up somewhere up through here. They literally leave and then magically appear in there. So they can still be, when they're moving around on the ground, they can still be shot at, but they don't. It's because it's designed to be played zoomed out. So again, we're sort of looking at really cool things, but your actual gameplay itself is played further away. I mean, I'd love it if there was a way to be able to come back afterwards and replay the whole game. Like, I don't know if it's got that actually, but to have a replay of the whole game would be incredibly good. But this is mainly what you're going to be seeing, and as I say, from further out. But again, it still looks stunningly good. But this is how it's played. So when you've got infantry and stuff like that, you don't notice that they're not climbing stairs or doing anything like that. That's my 2 cents worth. I am looking forward to playing the game, and it is just purely multiplayer as well. So that's the other thing that I know I'm going to struggle with that as a multiplayer game. But it does look fun. It's but very different to Armoured Brigade 2, for example. So you can't really compare the two games. So I'll just get that one out of that one. Just move that one back out to where I was before. Yeah, so Armoured Brigade 2, for my own play style, I think I'm going to enjoy this one more because I'm going to be able to pause it and do different things like this. I tried playing Broken Arrow the way I play these sorts of games, and it's not the best way to play it. But if you like multiplayer games, if you like sort of not click fests, because it's not a click fest game at all, but if you enjoy just the real time, steady pace, things happen relatively quickly, the game plays out relatively well, you're still making decisions and things like that, then Broken Arrow will be a really good fit for you. But for me, I do like to pause, I like to stop and look at things, and you can't do that in multiplayer. So Vox just saying not really into these type of games. Yeah, it's just the difference between them will be interesting though. So yeah, so this is saying I think it depends if you're into real-time strategy or turn-based. Well, Armoured Brigade is real-time. Like that's that's a real-time game, but it's pausable. So it's for me it was I've always really enjoyed it. It was something that was fun to play. But but Broken Arrow it will have single player, but single player. I think multiplayer is where that game is going to absolutely shine. Banksy's saying sound effects are also incredible. Yeah, yep. So it's Broken Arrow is really going to be something exceptional, I think, but not for me. It wouldn't. It's not in my top tier of games that I'm looking forward to personally. This description sounds like Warno. Yes, I've never played Warno, but it's sort of Warno looks pretty cool. So I really can't comment on it though. So where do we get up to? Flashpoint Southern Storm looks good, says Charles. Yeah, I should have played that. I never really got into it. I never started playing it. They were still Division 2. Usually the only way to watch the battle is to watch the replay stored afterwards. And it's sort of funny, even Combat Mission. I wish that Combat Mission would save every single turn when you're playing it, so you can go back and play the whole battle out. That would be so cool if they did that. Combat Mission, I love Combat Mission. And actually new Combat Mission's just come out as well. So they've got the, if we have a look at that. Sorry, we'll have to start to wrap things up. Combat Mission... Final Blitzkrieg has just come out, so that's out now. I won't play that one through there. But again, I love these games because these are WeGo type games. You can play them real time if you wanted to. I prefer the WeGo because it allows for mistakes, which is good. Yeah, what did we get up to? Hi David, how you going? What about FOF Kingdoms? Fog of War Kingdoms. That's still a long way off, actually, I think. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that as well. Actually, when that one does come, that's certainly on my top tier list of games I'm looking forward to. Actually, one of the David's games, I was going to talk about that as well. This is because I think there's new. Which one is it? It's yeah, Arms Trade Tycoon Tanks. I had mentioned this because I think there is now a release date. There it is, 6th of Feb. So this is coming very, very soon. This is a really cool game, I've got to say. God, there's so many great games. So many great games coming. So yeah, so this is a game. Look out for this one. This is so 6th of Feb. How far away is that? It's a bit over a week. So next week we'll be talking more about this game as well, because but have a look. I did a video on this one. I was trying to go through what this game had in a single video and sort of show it off. And now normally when you've got like a tycoon type game, you can sort of cover the basics in like 10 or 15 minutes and then just sort of show a little bit of the gameplay. It took me 2 hours to go through the basic mechanics that the game actually has. It's such an interesting collection of different bits and pieces. It really is astoundingly good. I'm just going to turn the sound off on this one. Just not sure with this one here. This one, it's so hard for them to show what the scope is of what it does do. I think we showed this one last week as well. But this was a game that it was... I was blown away by it actually, just by like how, like that's your empire. Actually, I might open it up because it's easier to show it as an actual game, I think. Now, hang on, that's my demo area. I think I did have it. Maybe I still got it in the demo area. This isn't an old version of it. I'm not sure if it is. It's saying thanks for mentioning. Like I meant to mention it before because I knew it was coming. So I knew that I think where it is, it's in my little list of things that come up in Steam. I think it's in the next page over because I did notice it there. That okay, cool, we've got a date. So if you have a look at this, if I just go to new game, is this an old version? 1.1.0? Can't remember if this is an old one or a. Just where I've got it stored is not where I would normally have it stored. I want an early access code. I can send it right now. Yeah, that'd be cool actually if you've got one there. I've got the. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Wolftooth saying I liked the demo for Ames Trade Tycoon. I enjoyed it, but at the time thought development was very slow. Yeah, it's been in sort of closed beta for a long time, So yeah, and Wolftooth saying, of course, I'm more into aircraft and just wondered why isn't there something like this for aircraft? Yeah, this is so. That's a very good point, actually. That could be done. I guess. Look, this is the way that this is structured. It's got the colon after arms trade tycoon, and so maybe it's coming. Maybe after colon tanks, it'll be colon aircraft, or something like that. Who knows? I don't know if this is the version 1.1. I can't remember if that's the case because the continue isn't there. I might just exit out and just see if I can find another version of it somewhere on my desktop. I'm thinking that has to be the one. I didn't have it down there. Yeah, there's the broken arrows, but I'm not allowed to. I don't know if I'm allowed to show them at all. That must be the one. I shall just see. Just check it out and see if there's something that David sent through. I can see this is the right version. Oh, it's the right version. Okay, so maybe it's already updated in that case. See, I would have thought I would have popped it in here. That's where it should go. So I'll just see if there's nothing else. Didn't end up at the bottom of that list or something. Anyway, let's have a look at it, because this is. Look, I think that when you see the word tycoon, you can actually lock yourself into a frame of mind that is that makes you think it's only one type of thing. But this has got so much. It does have the tycoon aspect to it, but yeah, it doesn't have from where I had my save game last time, which is fine. Oh, there we go. Is that just because I just started one just before? Probably is. Yeah, so version 1.1.0. Oh no, this one is a bit further in. So this is actually one that I did the video on, actually, because I didn't get into wars as such. But when you have a look at all of the stuff that this game has got in it, like you've got every building does something interesting in almost like a factory sort of style. So you've actually got your production factory through here where you build the tanks, for example. But you've got your administration sort of. I'll just quickly go through what they all do. Administration sort of runs the show. The research is where you then do all your different research. So as you sort of come into these different things, you've got, like in this case, I'm doing bolted assembly. Got a little bit of time left to do that one. If I go and click on it, it will then open up and start to sort of then show the other progressions as we start to go through. So it's a really nice looking game as well. But it's I'm seeing on if I just go back up to the factory ground again. You know, one thing I don't like is those cutscenes. They're too bright and shiny. Once you've actually researched something, you then have to engineer it. Once you engineer it, you then can design it. Once you've got enough of the engineered things designed up, you can then get the design bureau to design a tank using those different components. And so this area through here, we're building a whippet gunner, for example. So if we have a look back in through here, so this one is actually just progressing through a particular sort of style of tank in this particular instance. In fact, I think this one may only be. It may just be the actual component itself. I think I wanted to try something where it had practically nothing on it. So it was very, very light on. I have noticed that, well, that's a bit of a bug, I think, in the game, but that's it does leave rivets where there shouldn't be. But that's but this is sort of like where you then go and design your tank, sort of to figure out what you actually want to have. And then from the design bureau, you then come across and start production on your actual tanks. And so in our case, we're building these tanks called mini blasters, and we're pumping these out because we can sell these cheap in the current game. So this is actually where your factory is, and you set up all sorts of different things. You've got all these different. There's so much. I can't really spend it. You have to look at the 2-hour video to get a feel for how it all sort of does work. But it's and then from there it then goes off to dispatch back out to your warehouse. So warehouse is where you bring either things in, or like we've got supply lines, we've got stuff coming in from Africa, for example. We don't have anything going out at this stage, but this is where you can then go and sort of establish what has to be shipped out, what has to be shipped in, so you can then sort of keep on building what you need to go and build. It's also got a global map, which is really, really interesting. Now, in this instance, there are no wars. It's interesting. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there's no wars yet anywhere. And so you've got like the great powers. Each one of these little areas is a battlefield. And so the battlefields end up, your tanks have to then fight in these battlefields. You don't control the battlefields, you don't control what goes on, but you do get reports back on the actual battles that occur in these different battlefields. And so then you've got the sort of like the major areas down through here. So it looks like, because this is new, they did actually have all the great powers were fighting in Europe at one stage, but it looks like they're now it looks like it's more now focused on Africa itself. So saying, oh, now wars, so sad. You don't play it so much. You can see there's comments there about it's like KSP. No, nothing at all like KSP. It's still a tycoon game, but with so many other aspects coming in around it. Like if you go back in here again, it's one thing, like, so with the actual battles themselves, and we don't actually have one for this one through here. The different countries will then ask for different tanks. The tycoon part is that you then supply them. Your tanks then perform on the battlefield, and you get reports on how they go. You can actually test drive the tanks in through here, for example. So I've only got one style of tank at this stage. And this is really just putting it through its paces. So you can see there it's got a little machine gun and another gun on the side. You can see down the bottom there, number 1 is my 6-pounder, and wherever the mouse is pointing, the little white mouse, the other one will try to then marry up, but it can't really do much. So I need to rotate the tank to be able to then sort of fire down that way, for example, just with the design that I've actually got with this one. If I press number 2, I then get the machine gun from out in front. So I can then sort of start to just bring the tank and run it through its paces. And like all the different things you put into the tank have a bearing on how it will then perform in battle. Like this one I like because it's not very strong with its armament, but it's actually quite good just in terms of its maneuverability for an old 1914 style tank. So this is sort of essentially like the internal course for the tank itself. So it's just got a bit of everything. It's so this is the bit that does feel a bit like KSP, but it's then you've got the different sorts of. So in our case, we would have to come up and either use the machine guns to knock these things over, if we can just get it in there. See how when we can't bring the gun up higher than that? We have to find it. There we go. We got it that time. Move it that way, but we can't bring it up any higher, so we need to find a back slope that will then allow it to hit it. And you've got limited bullets, so we've got 440 bullets left, and again that's up to us with what we have. But this one is it's not very heavy, this tank, so it's because I didn't put hardly any armament on it, which gives it sort of more maneuverability. Anyway, I won't play it for too long. But in the things that are coming up, this one is coming as well. There's so much stuff coming this week. So there's a tank. So in this case, we'd have to swing around this side. Go back to number 1. Come on, up you come, up you come. You can't do it. Why is that? Doesn't, for whatever reason, we can't actually get there. Yes, it can. It just reloads. Oh no, that's it. That's all we have to do there. But anyway, that's the that's the game. But it's I haven't done justice in that short amount of time. But that's coming soon. It's so much more than what you think it is, and it's not. Oh God, it's just so much in it. It's just so much in it. The one thing I couldn't even show in the 2 hours was actually a war, and I would have liked to have shown that because that's everything is really interesting in the way that it does play out. The tanks, depending on how you build them, have different ratings and all sorts of different things. I don't even think I've got any contracts. No, there's nothing I can really show at this stage. I sort of left the game sort of in a bit of a null state as such at that point because I'd gone through enough to be able to show. In fact, I think are they over here? Contract center. Yeah, no, we've filled all the contracts. But it's a really, really interesting game. So anyway, that's but you don't sort of think it's not one where you drive tanks around and fire at things either. Like you do do the test range, but the test range is minimal compared to the rest of the game. Like it is a management game, but it's sponsored on only one side. Yeah, I was thinking how I could build it. I wanted to see what would happen if I designed a tank that was so minimal that I could sell it for anything. And the government. I wish I could. I'll run it forward. Let's go 10 times speed. And world news. There's a new tank revealed. New resources have arrived. I'll just run itself into the ground. Must purchase new resources. I won't worry about that one. Well, new tank revealed as well. So production complete on our mini blasters. So we're just going through the production. It's random as well. Like even though we're sort of like in World War I era, it's not. World War I hasn't started yet. I probably should have started a new game with this one anyway. So here we got a new non-aggression pact has been signed between the British and the German Empire. So it's completely ahistorical in terms of the of what actually happens, which I really like, because it's real world, but not it's not as we know it. So you build different buildings at the different facilities. Well news, new tank revealed again as well. Come on, give me something. It's all random, so you don't know when wars are going to start out. You know what's going to happen. We need to hire additional workers. Yep, that's okay. We'll just keep on going. Financial reports are ready. Yeah, so nothing much is really happening with this one here. So it's again, I sort of was hoping that there's something would sort of show up. We're now into December. We'll see if anything does come up. So this is the contract. So British Empire announces a new contract for 20 tanks. And so if we have like a cheap, fast little tank, if we go back to our contract center, so we now have this new contract. This is sort of how this bit of it works. And so so ChatTactic is what I called the company, to the 2nd Battalion for Vanguard tanks. So we need to select a tank design that's going to match what they want. So this is what they need. They've got different sort of requirements for crew safety, aiming, awareness, comfort, the communication on the interior, exterior, mobility, back and through here again. And these are all things that you have to design into your tanks. So when you're designing the tanks, these are all aspects of what you're building and what you're focusing on. And so it ends up being really, really interesting. Like protection, you've got for stealth, you've got the hull thicknesses, how things are sort of working in through there with the turrets as well. So then you've got firepower, hard firepower, soft firepower. So, and these are just the summaries. So there's so much, and I think if you hover over it, yeah, it goes through the all of the, like there's so much information in here. It's really, really fascinating. Repairability as well. So they've got this is what their requirements are. So we need to match that. Otherwise, we end up with we can't get anything competitive. So if we go and select our tank designs, we've got the Whippet Gunner now, which we've just designed, but we haven't tested this one yet. So this one's no good. If we go back to our good old mini blaster and select that one and just go OK, we can see there that crew performance, we're ahead in crew performance, even in that little, because the reason we're ahead in crew performance is because there's no armament taking up any space. So everything's been stripped out. And so in terms of everything on the inside, the crew's got heaps of space. So that's actually fairly good. Mobility's not too bad. Protection's not too bad. Even the protection isn't bad with what we actually have, with our design. If I went with the other tank, the Whippet Gunner, it's not tested, but I can have a look at that one. This one is, just go and leave that one where that is. So this one, the crew performance is even better, but it's so untested. Like the hard firepower is, I've got a funny feeling I may have even turned that off completely. So their requirements for a main engine, sorry, a main gun it hasn't been fulfilled. I wanted to see what would happen if I built one that didn't actually have a gun, but this one's not ready yet. So it's sort of a bit early to to go through it and sort of show that. But it's in this case we do actually have we're very, very close in most things in through here. So a success score, if we went with the contract details, would be okay-ish, but we'd probably sort of lose it to the competitors' tanks. So we can then sort of tweak things and say, okay, look, we'll make it so that it's cheaper for you. So it'll start to sweeten the deal. And as it sort of comes up, we're now in the green, which means that we should win the contract. So you can do it with money. You can also make it so that things are more expensive, if you like, and then sort of say, okay, yeah, we can make it more expensive, but actually it's not going to do anything, is it, with the extra tanks? But you can make the deadline really, really short. So you can say, okay, look, it's going to cost you a fortune, but I can deliver you these tanks in 2 months or something like this. So if you take the punt and build a heap of these, you can actually fulfill the contract immediately as such, meaning you can then charge a lot more for them. So even just this screen here has got so much in it in terms of what's going to happen. Like it's, I can sort of basically do that one and say, yep, I can deliver that in a month. It's basically a month to deliver that, but I don't know if I can, so I'm not going to do it. Let's just leave it there. But once you get that one started, you then have your production. Again, the warehousing. If we do go and have a look, excuse me, I need to get some more of this. Just get some more honey. So Mike's saying, should I stick around or wait for them to do the marble run? I'll be doing that very, very soon, actually. I do have to get going. Oh, God, my throat's starting to give out now. So I will have to get going. But anyway, I really, really do recommend this game. And we now do actually have a... I'll just quit out of that one. But it's it's not just a tycoon game. It's a lot of different sorts of mechanics all meshed together in a really interesting way. And I think I saw it in here. That's why I hadn't mentioned it before. I'll just go back through. Is this the start? Yeah, when I was just moving through. So we'll go through that one. Master of Magic we'll be talking about next week. Rising Lords. I did want to talk about this one, but I think I covered it a bit last week. I'll probably talk about it again. I do want to play it before I come back to it. I haven't really played these. Total Conflict Resistance. Imperium's Greek Wars. There's a new Imperium's coming very, very soon. Rise of Caesar is coming. I've contacted the devs, so we'll be actually sort of covering that one. Odd Realm. Lost Legends expansion. Okay. Astro Colony, haven't played that one. Hearts of Iron, haven't played that for a long time. Gal Civ. Funny, I'm sure I saw Trade Tycoon here. I thought, okay, cool, it's going to be there. Anyway, I'm glad that David was in because it then reminded me about it because it really is... David's saying other nations will be available and the timeline goes forward indeed. Yes, there must be other questions about it. So... but yeah, no, it's an amazing game. It's a game that I really wasn't expecting to it to be what it was at all. Like and a few other people who have been on the beta have told me as well. Like they've actually raved about it, just how much they enjoy it. So it's sort of keep an eye open on that one through there. All right, well, I think it might be marble time. I don't think we've got anything else we have to talk about. But yeah, I'm glad that you popped in, David, because I did mean to talk about that one today. Because I knew that the actual date was coming up very, very soon. Tortuga Power. Basically, if you look at Tortuga's, if you like Tortuga's content, then he plays a lot of naval games, but also he was the one who first told me about this game a long time ago, actually, like a fairly long time ago, and he was raving about it. This is years ago, maybe. Anyway, it was something that is really, really quite cool. Anyway, that's coming. So so David's saying glad I did. Yes, I'm glad you did too, because I knew it was coming up. I mean, next week it's going to be right on release date almost. But when I do this, in fact, I've got a funny feeling I may be having to push this version back a couple of days for next week for ChatTactic. I think I've got a scheduled live stream that I have to do at the same time, so I'll probably end up pushing this one back to the Wednesday, I think, but I'll see how I go. I have to double check everything for that one. Anyway, let's get Marble Run done so we can close that one off. We will get, now the first thing we need to do is to come back into this and close that one off, and we'll go and grab Nightbot. And we'll log in. And so with the giveaways, the keyword will just be win, even though there's nothing to give away. So we'll so if you guys just type in win in the actual in the chat, you can I can then sort of give you the I can put you in the Marble Run, and then we'll do a Grand Prix and see who actually wins. Now I'm pretty sure 23 was the score from last week. So Wolf2 saying, can you have me in the Marble Run game, please? Yeah, just type win in the chat. So if you want to be in, just type win, and it will then appear on the side here. Yeah, there we go. Sithel's the first one in. I was seeing them sort of coming in thick and fast. So anyone jump in, I'm going to jump in as well. Might as well do it. Got to be in it to win it. It looks like it doesn't accept me. No, the dirty bugger, it wouldn't let me in. All right, we'll continue. I'll have to add myself separately, which is what I normally do anyway. I'll just get myself a drink of water, be right back, and then we'll sort of get it all started. So Jack Timberlake saying, I will not attend or let others win. Was it 23? Was that the actual winning amount last week? Am I remembering that correctly? I know it was a long, long way out. So, Mike saying a prize equals an expenses paid to the first annual ChatTactic gaming convention on the Gold Coast. Well, that's not going to happen. All right, so what do you got? We've got 25. Okay, that'll do us. All right, let's open her up. So, I don't know, was there anyone that had asked? I can't remember if there was anyone that had asked to sort of go in there. This is all the map stuff. I'll just go to File, Open Recent. There we go, marbles are in there, good. Just grab all of those, delete all those, and get the list. And so it's got all those, and we just replace it with Control-C, and just get this one here. All right, so I add myself in. Mr. Fiegel's maths class. Okay, I'll just I'll put you in. Just called Mr. Flegel. Has anyone else wanted to get in that wasn't there before? Yeah, David's saying I see Paradox has shown Millennia today. Yeah, I was mentioned before. Again, that's another one of those games that I'm not really super comfortable with. It was sort of I played a bit of it like in the early phases, but I don't like games that go through eras. You know, like Civ games aren't really things that I really like playing all that much. Yeah, people are saying we're going to get some free honey infused ants. There we go. God, they're annoying. I tell you what, when it's raining here, they are super annoying. I'm just going to save that one. So we've got 27 players. Right. Let's get into it. Marbles. Oh, Blast Pop. Okay, 28 in that case. I'll just let it open up. Then we'll go back in and fix it up. Come on, game. Load in. There's been some massive games of cricket over the last few days, actually, which I was going to talk about, but I've run out of time. There's if you're into sport, doesn't matter whether you're into cricket or not, there's just some amazing results, which is great. I love seeing all that. We won't quit out. We'll just go into race and Grand Prix. Play 4 maps again, and I don't think it remembers the what had happened previously. So what have we got? 28 this time. So blast pop. I'll just put blast pop in the list. There we go, and 28. We're going to be playing with bots. Race settings. Add names. It's a shame that it doesn't just automatically work with like it does in Twitch. Like in Twitch, you don't have to do any of this stuff. Finish. Okay, so there we go. We've got our people in there. All right, let's have a quick GP. Doing the same. Cricket looks fun to play. I might need some beer to actually sit through it watching a game. Oh, it was incredible. Like the West Indies, like basically a collection of islands through the Caribbean and down into South America. They beat Australia for the first time in 30-something years in Australia, and it was they weren't expected to win. And this guy, basically with a broken foot, ended up bowling out Australia. Like he got 7 wickets, which is a lot. Like he absolutely smashed the game open with he had to retire the day before because he couldn't walk. So just things like that. It was just an amazing sportsmanship, with what actually happened. And the commentators and the ex-players from here we go. This is interesting. The ex-players were in tears over what that had actually played for the West Indies. The commentators were had tears streaming down their eyes. It was really, really cool. It was so special. And he's this guy that he didn't think he was ever going to play Test cricket. Like 6 months ago, he was working in the jungle somewhere. So it's just amazing. And he sort of ends up doing incredible things like that. And England also had a massive win. Anyway, let's start the race. Now, who is it? Lewis is the first one out, followed by CB, Joseph, Blast Pop, Hugh David. On the other side, we've got Russell Goff. Bubo straight through. It looks like Bubo may be in front now. Or is it it's Sithel on that side? Oh, there's people being drawn up into this thing. Antonio is gone. I wasn't expecting that. Mr. Fleegle. Oh, here we go. Who's going to get this one? This is Russell Goff is now being drawn up inside the UFO. That's an awesome one. We haven't played this one before. Who's he going to get next? Mr. Fleegle out in front again. And he's picked up... Who? Me? No, no one. There's too many of us. Okay, here comes Mr. Fleegle. Will he make it? Will he make it into the end here or not? The UFO's disappeared. Now this is moving around. There's no guarantee you're going to finish first. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Mr. Fleegle may be in trouble here. No, he's okay. He's got past the UFO. Hugh David on the other side, maybe. Bit hard to tell. Here comes Mr. Fleegle. This is a really cool one. Mr. Fleegle's the first one through. But will he make it into here? No, he won't. Oh, yes, he will. Yes, he will. No. Oh, yes, he will. No, he's not actually in. He's off. Jack Timberlake is also not in, but Joseph is. Joseph is the first one in. All right, there we go. And a lot of the others now are falling off the way. Here they come. We've got a few finishes. So many on the outside edge. They're on the rim. So if all of these people are on the rim here, and they just fall off. Okay, is that it? Is that it? No, they've still got a few more. Oh, this has been the best map ever. All right, so we've still got a few more points. Still got a few more points here. And that should be it. So Maladroit finishes, and that's the end of that particular race, I think. There we go. Joseph Hovath is the actual winner of that particular one. We'll view the results. So we've got the actually, where is it? We've got the results there. We've got the ChatTactic point scoring in through this other side. I thought I was going to change this, but I didn't do it. So anyway, it's the top 8. Well, it's the 9th. No one finished in 9th. So there was points that were missed out on there. I should actually have it so at least if you finish, you get 1 point. But I might rejig those at some point. And then we've got the actual Grand Prix itself. It's just showing the current standings. Okay, let's go back in and go to the next race. So next map. Marble Mill. That was cool, that one. All right, good luck again, guys. Down we go. He's going to be the first one up through the top here. Shelling and Blast Pop. Blast Pop's gone straight to the bottom, as is Shelling and Serenity. Now, what's going to happen in this part of it? Now, these are only moved slowly. They're just going to slow things down. That's okay. So Shelling in through there. Serenity, now Blast Pop's coming to third. Mr. Fleagle's gone down the middle rung, which is going to put him a little bit ahead of the others. The others have to then navigate a cannon, and they didn't do it. Blast Pop didn't do it. Blast Pop did. So the cannon firing is actually working for a lot of you, but not all of you. Some of them are making a little bit ahead of everything. Looks like Maladroit has somehow managed to scoot his way to the front through the cannon shooting. Yep, okay, everyone's now finished with... So Maladroit's a long way out ahead. Toby Mandragon, there's me just gone. I don't know what they fell off. Maybe I was back at the cannons. So we've got Toby, Maladroit coming through. Still anything can happen here. Still Toby out in front of Maladroit. Oh, Maladroit's just gone forward and is going to take the win. Okay, so Maladroit now takes the win. Toby come in second, I think. We've got Shine Helig coming in third. Pedja Jape coming in fourth. Blast Pop has done well, actually. I mean, it's I thought you were gone for all money there. There are these little ghost balls. I don't know what they are, but anyway, it's Blast Pop coming in there. Sorbicol coming in just behind that. Mr. Fleagle following that one. And then we've got Jack, Hugh, and Louise coming in as well to take the top if they can make it. There's a lot of players though coming in with this next bunch. Here we go. No more points left. No more points left. All right, so we've still got 2 more races. We'll see how we're going. I don't think anyone's really sort of rocketing out into the lead at this stage. Here comes Skyrox. Lucky last. There we go. So Maladroit, congratulations. Let's have a look at the... so that's the points for this one here. And the Grand Prix totals. We've got, essentially, we've got 13. So Pedja actually got scores in both. Joseph has got one of the wins. There's a win down through here. So just 3 on 10. So we've got a 13. We've got 3 on 10s. We've got 1 8, a 7, a 6, 2 5s, a few 4s, a couple of 3s, a 2 and a 1. So it's still anyone's game at all at this point in time. So let's go back and next map. Bongo Boogie, whatever the hell that is. All right, here we go. Start race. And they're off. He's going to be the first one out. Looks like Jack Timberlake is out. ZXM, Mike Gillespie, Derner, Wolftooth. These are all news. There's a Lewis again, so he was there before. Now, what's going to happen here? This could be very interesting. They've all made it. Pale Wolf Plays didn't. And Jennison doesn't either. All right, so that's getting rid of one. Oh, Toby is on. Okay. Next one through. We've got Wolftooth out in front. Then we've got Jack, Gyrox. Now this is going to be another one of these. That's made it over. Okay, nearly everyone's made it. What about down here? This is going to get fairly interesting. Okay, that looks pretty secure. So Wolftooth is first one in. Okay, so with the finishing in through here, there's a lot of looks like everyone's just finishing in. So all the top 10 have now finished very, very quickly there. So that's interesting. Looks like we've got new leaders, new winners in this particular round, which is good. There we go. The winner, Wolftooth. View the final results. So where are we in the Grand Prix this time? So we have 13 points for Pedja. So he didn't score any more points this time. But Joseph has now gone into there with 11 points. He's gone into second place. So he's now gone up that way. Maladroit and Toby are there with 10 as well. And we now actually also have Wolftooth, which has now joined them in 10. So there's still 3 with 10. We've got a 9. We've got 2 8s, 2 7s, 3 6s, a 5, 4 4s, 3 4s, and a heap of 3s. So it's filling in. Well, one more race. So it's still anyone's game. This is not like it happened last week where it was already over basically by now. This is an exciting finish. So it's between Pedja, Joseph. Really, it's between any of these top group. Anyone could win it really. So it's we'll see how we go next map. But Pedja is out in the lead. So ZXM is saying I'm beating Daz each time, so that counts as a win. All right, start the race. Good luck, guys. Who's leading? Looks like it's Pedja, actually. Was it? Who's going to be the first one through? Whoops. It's Lewis, I think. Just wait for the first one to come down. We're circling the drain. So for Maladroit's not in a good position here. Oh, there's Lewis, there's Sorbicol, Sithel, Mike, Joseph. How's it going to happen here? Is anyone going to fall off? No one's gone the other way. I don't know if it looks like the other one's not actually a racetrack. So Sorbicol now out in front. Very close. Jamison was one of the leaders there, but I don't know if... we'll see what actually happens. Yeah, Sorbicol, Lewis, I think, was in the leadership group before as well. So just making their way through. Yeah, this is where they could... No, no one will fall off there. It's all pretty secure here. These aren't moving, so they're not going to upset anyone. They'll upset the leaderboard, though. Looks like Sithel is the first one through. Oh, no, Joseph is the first one through. So, no, Joseph was actually... He was in the leaderboard, so he's going to... he could win this. If he gets past this portion of it, there's not a hell of a lot left. No, Sithel's deepest down. There we go. Sithel, the first one through, by a long way, actually. Now, Gyrox, Jamison, Mr. Flegels, Math Class, Mike Gillespie, Sorbicol, Antonio, then Joseph. So Joseph's out of the running at this stage. Sithel's going to be the first one to finish. There's been no traps on this one. It's been very sedate. So Sithel is number 1 in the last race. Gyrox, Jemison, Mr. Flegel, Sorbical, Antonio, Joseph, Mike Gillespie. I don't know who's going to win this, actually. This is going to be really quite interesting. There's Pedja, who was out in the lead, but he's not going to get any points this time. So everyone's just finishing. So we've got Maladroit, who was amongst the leaders, so he's not going to get any more points. And Wolftooth as well. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so congratulations, Sithel, on that win. Let's view the final results. Now, that was the last of them. We'll come back and look at the... Well, I don't know who's the winner, so I don't know if you guys have been able to keep track, but I can't keep track. Let's finish the Grand Prix. We won't look at the points yet. We'll have a look at them afterwards. So, drum roll. Coming in third place is Joseph. Okay, so Joseph Horvath came in third. Gyrox, there we go, came in second. So is it Pedja? I think it's going to be Pedja. No, it's Sithel. Wow, okay, so there's been a big change of leadership. We'll have to look at the points. So Sithel is the leader, is the winner of today's ChatTactic marble run. So congratulations there, Sithel. We can have a look at the points. 16 points. Well, actually, it was a dead heat. But Gyrox got no wins, and so the win is what then would elevate Sithel to the first place. So if we were having an actual prize giveaway, we would have to. That would be the thing that would designate it. If it wasn't a prize giveaway, we'd then have to do a 2-player runoff to see who would have won. Anyway, 16 points is what it took to win. So there we go. The 13 points. Pedja didn't get any extra points. Joseph got some extra ones in there. We can have a look and see what that actually was. I'm pretty sure. So that's the so that's the actual leaders board in through there. There's still going to be a few with the 0 points at the bottom there. But there we are, guys. That was good. That was a good run. We'll just go back to the main menu. I don't know if we can see all of it. Oh, can we? Oh, maybe we can't. No, didn't do it. Okay. Oh, well, so unfortunately, we didn't get to see the final results. Anyway, that was interesting. That was good fun. Anyway, guys, I've got to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys, next week or one or the other. I'll be streaming a bit more. I've got to stream more on Twitch over the coming days. I haven't streamed there for a while since I've had the flu. And I'll be certainly putting out more video content. So I'll catch you around. Thanks for watching.